Here we go. Cyber Monday, that garbage. Man, I hate that name. Cyber Monday. Yeah, and let's see. Bucks lost overtime. That must have been a miserable plane ride back from Cleveland. Must have been a rough one.
Yeah, not only did the Bucks lose, they lost in spectacular fashion.
Yeah.
And to a spectacularly horrible team.
Oh, God, the Browns are just awful. That one-handed grab and then a little 3-yard run into the end zone and bam, Tom Brady and the Bucks lose 23-17 in overtime.
And they might have lost their best offensive lineman for a while.
Oh, yeah, Wirfs. Yeah.
Yeah, he had a pretty bad injury in the overtime.
Yeah, kind of a gruesome dealio.
I didn't see it. Did they show it on TV?
I didn't see all the video that comported with the things I read about the so-called gruesome injury.
Yeah, I mean, all I heard was Jonathan Vilma, the announcer for the game, saying, "Yeah, man, we're not going to show that." Oh, it was horrific.
Why did Froggy just walk in and then just walk out?
All right, so he's having a couple of broadcasting dilemmas this morning.
What's that? Should he share this with us, or are you going to share it with us?
No, he doesn't have all his equipment. There's a few things.
Well, what do you mean he doesn't have all his equipment?
Okay.
What do he walks in with? He needs headphones.
He comes in every day with 5 things. 1, his headphone. 2, a glass pipe. I'm kidding. So he comes in every day. And
a bowl.
All you really need to be a part of a radio show is his headphones, so you can hear each other.
Someone stole my brand new one.
Look, you got a disgruntled look on your face.
Someone stole my brand new one.
Hey, dude, how long you been in radio? Can you talk into the microphone?
23 years. I'm still trying to figure it out.
I realize that.
You and I both.
Wait,
Someone stole my brand new headphones in this.
Where were they?
I accidentally left them in the production room Saturday.
Yeah.
And now they're gone.
Okay, well, hold on. If anything, it's your fault for leaving them around.
Well, God, man.
I mean,
and the studio is hot as hell right now.
I just bought those last Monday.
Well, good thing it's Cyber Monday today.
Dude, don't break the... you know what? I don't know if you could do any more damage to the chairs in the studio.
All right, listen, buddy.
It is Cyber Monday.
Let's solve this crime, though. Like, who... Okay, so it was Saturday.
I
who was
guess
here?
Who it is. There's a bunch of...
Who was here on Sunday?
I mean, this building isn't very busy on the weekends, right?
Especially on a holiday weekend. I mean, how many people are running around here on Thanksgiving weekend?
Me.
Yeah, why were you here?
Because I had work to do. You know what? I had work to do.
Okay.
Now, my only device I need is gone.
Well, you left it out, kind of begging for it to be boosted.
That is crazy that someone would... Have you checked all the other rooms?
You know what's funny is this bag was... They were sitting on this bag.
And the bag's still there.
And the bag is there.
So the bag for the headphones was there, but the headphones are gone.
Brand new Sonys that if you see them, you're going to take them. If you're a radio guy.
What you got to do is just walk all the different studios. Somebody probably just took them and used them in a different studio is what I'm thinking.
Cool. Let's just take them. Yeah, it's normal.
Well, listen, you see them in a community production room. Maybe someone thought that they were just like a set to be used by anybody. I'm guessing if you just walk through the building and go into all the different rooms, I'm guessing your new Sony headphones are going to be in another studio.
Here's your headphones. Headphones. Let me see them. Yeah, that's going to go well.
I'd like to thank Fester for the ride in this morning.
Oh, you guys were a carpooling team again, huh?
Yep. Fester picked me up at the house, drove me in. However, I did have to smell a burning plastic smell for the entire ride in.
That sounds healthy.
There's something going on in the engine. Maybe I
Is there a bag in it?
Yeah, maybe I hit a bag.
All I know is as I walk down my driveway to Fester's awaiting 2004 Lincoln Town Car, as I get within maybe, 7-8 feet of the vehicle, I'm like... What's that smell? And it was like just a burning plastic smell. And then I get inside the car. It's even worse. It's almost like the air conditioning system, which does work. The AC does actually work in the vehicle, or it seems to work.
Feature.
And I'm smelling the burning smell even more inside the vehicle. So there's something going. And then Fester says, yeah, I think some plastic is touching some hot parts. I'm like, okay, thank you for that very solid automotive diagnosis.
Remember my old Altima that ran out of oil?
Yeah, well,
it didn't run on oil. You didn't change the oil
For 4 years.
During the entire life of the car, you didn't change the oil at all.
So it did run out.
It just died. But that car,
the engine seized up.
one time I picked up a plastic bag, like a grocery bag, and it almost it sort of caught on fire under my car. It started smoking. So that stuff can catch on fire.
Yeah, I try to avoid those things. When you're driving on the interstate or driving on a road and you see one of those plastic bags, what's that song? Like a plastic bag floating in the air.
I had never heard that.
It's a Katy Perry song. We never heard that.
Like a plastic.
Is that Katy Perry or is it Miley? I think it's Katy.
Like a plastic bag floating in the air? Are you talking about fireworks?
Yeah, no.
Are you sure you're not confusing this with 99 Red Balloons?
No, I'm not confusing with 99 Red. No, there's like a Katy Perry song, and one of the lyrics is like a plastic bag floating in the air.
Okay.
I'm not making it up. What do you think about drugs over here? That's Froggy's department.
Excuse me?
I'm sorry.
Excuse me?
What?
It's legally.
Come on.
Excuse me?
Go to Google.
Medical. All right, Katy Perry.
Mr. 4 bottles of wine in a night over here talking about me?
With 6 people. And
The wino and I know.
Yeah, right. Yeah. All right, so
Plastic bag.
Plastic bag. I'm telling you, it's like a Katy Perry song. Oh, do you firework? Do you ever? It's like the first freaking line.
I said firework.
Right, bring up the song. Bring up Katy Perry firework. It's the first freaking line of the song. Do you ever feel like a plastic bag drifting through the wind, wanting to start again? It's Katy flippin' Perry. I'm not making it up.
Okay.
I mean, as soon as you said plastic bag and started singing your rendition of it, not only was it horrific, I said firework. I mean, hey, I've heard this.
Anyway.
You have it, Andrew?
No, he doesn't. Plus,
Okay.
plus the board is not set up to even get his room now.
Okay.
So,
We're rolling.
yeah. Hey, Andrew, you realize that this board, I can't even bring up your room in here. So the TV has replaced your room, so I can't even bring you up.
How offensive.
Yeah, I don't understand this. Well,
Don't do it.
Yeah. Anyway, so hey, we're just getting rolling here. It is a fabulous, busy Monday. I see that everyone has survived Thanksgiving. Roxanne, you flew to the Bahamas for what, 3 days?
Tuesday, and then came back late Friday night.
Gotcha. All right.
And yeah, that was not. I don't recommend traveling late with kids on a Friday night.
Yeah,
that was
probably
miserable.
not a good idea. And then Roxanne, I think, was on the hunt for the FTX clown.
I was.
Yeah, for
he was down there.
The crazy-haired FTX clown. All right, we are just getting rolling. Do you have the plastic bag thing? All right, go to the beginning. Not to the very beginning. Just go to like halfway through. Here we go. All right.
I don't know when it starts. It's the video.
Well, the lyrics were.
Do you ever feel
Here we go.
like a plastic bag drifting through the wind,
See?
wanting to start again?
I'm not making it up.
This is a very popular song that I've heard a gazillion
Yes,
times, and I never
firework.
picked up on the plastic bag
It's
part.
the first lyric of the song.
Literally the fifth word she
what
says.
did I think it
Do
was?
you listen to the words?
MJ loves Katy
Anyway,
Perry.
The point. Guess what? She was very nice to Chloe backstage at the Ice Palace back years ago. All right, let me tell you right now that when I was thinking of the plastic bag, I avoid those. When you see the plastic bags when you're driving, you don't want them to get stuck under your car and get like stuck to your catalytic converter or your exhaust, because those things will glom on, they'll melt, and then you'll have that burnt plastic smell for like 27 miles.
That might be what I have going on.
How many damn plastic bags have you run over?
Like a case of them.
Yeah, apparently so.
I just realized what I thought the lyric was, like a psychopath.
Like a psychopath blowing in the wind?
Wow.
Anyway.
I never heard plastic bag.
So Festus' car smells like he ran over like 15 Publix shopping bags that were just floating in the wind like Katy Perry's song. All right, just getting rolling, folks. It is a busy Monday. Don't move. We got a busy show today. MJ Morning Show. Q105. Traffic is on. Back in a minute.
In Manatee County.
619. Hello, folks. MJ here, Fester, and Roxanne in the studio. Froggy apparently is roaming the building right now looking for his headphones that he says were stolen, ripped off. We got a big old whodunit on our hands here. Whodunit? Don't we have cameras in the halls? Can't we see? What do you mean, no?
We have little domes in the ceiling that look like cameras.
Were they phonies?
They're not phonies, but they're so poor. Remember a couple months ago, maybe a year and a half ago, Froggy kind of tossed the office. It was Froggy who tossed the office, by the way. But I was looking through the corporate cameras to see if I could spot him. So I knew it was him right away, but I wanted to get the footage of him doing it.
So it's like a bank if they had like domes and it's like a big fake out. So the crook or the robber or the would-be robber thinks that there are cameras all over the bank, but they're like phony domes. We have phony domes. We've got phony, fake, like decoy, fake out cameras in this place.
At one time they worked. They're all pointed to angles that don't really result in any kind of evidence.
That's helpful.
Just aimed at a wall?
Yeah, I mean, maybe you can see the top of the back of somebody's head and in the corner of the screen. It's really, really poor. So I don't think we have functioning cameras at all. And a radio station, the unwritten rule is, don't leave your stuff laying around.
Oh, remind me later on. Oh, it's Froggy's yelling up and down the... Froggy!
All right.
He's yelling up and down the hallway.
I was talking to the Morning Country show. I'm investigating.
Are you?
I see that.
Huh.
Or just yelling in people's faces.
Why would you leave your headphones in the studio on a Saturday?
People make accidents, and it happened. I was in a rush. I had to go home.
Hold on. People make accidents.
It sounds like you had a...
What are you, a
like you pooped in your pants.
Like a 3-year-old that had a...
Damiana makes accidents.
Yeah, it had an
She's
accident
potty
in
training.
your pants.
Golly. Okay. It's okay. I have my old broken ones.
How much were the Sony headphones that you left in the studio?
I
And
got them for my birthday 2 weeks ago.
Oh, Kim got them for you?
Yeah. They're
And
like $90, buddy.
$90.
And they just walked?
They grew legs, apparently.
Why don't you put out an email to the whole building? Do an all Tampa email.
I sent Ted
Yeah.
an email, and he's going to do it for me. I need it to come from a boss.
You just sent Ted an email now?
Yeah. I said, first I called him 5 times.
He
didn't
I'm
pick
sure
up.
he appreciates that.
You just called Ted at 6 o'clock in the morning?
And then I sent him an email. I said, could you please send out an all-staff email saying, please return the headphones that you stole from what's the name of this production room? By the studio, by Maxima.
Right.
Or we'll have to go to the cameras.
Well, Fester just gave us a dissertation on the cameras.
Yeah, and now everybody knows that the cameras don't work. Thanks
The
to Fester.
cameras suck.
They
and
don't work?
Half the cameras don't work. Others are pointed at like walls and you don't see anything.
You ever see the video of like the moonlight?
Not even an effing camera!
So wait a minute.
My God.
So there's no camera outside of the studio.
What is this? Where
so-
are we?
Oh, and speaking of the building, just remind me to tell you this later on. I was leaving on Tuesday. After the morning show on Tuesday, we did a best of on Wednesday. So we had if you just tuned in, it sounded like we were here. And it was just a show of best of material. It was the normal format, the normal amount of MJ Morning Show programming. With the long segment at 7:22 to 8:42 or so. It was the regular MJ Morning Show, just we did a best of on Wednesday. But when I was leaving on Tuesday, I ran into somebody that was screaming in the lobby, and they were threatening a lawsuit against the building. Yeah.
Was it an employee?
Hang on. I'll fill you in later on.
Whoa.
I wish I would have rolled video, but I was trying to calm them down.
Oh, it was that bad?
Oh, yeah.
Usually
I would typically roll video, even if it was surreptitiously, but I did not. But I guess I've got to put the building on alert. Yeah, whoever the management company is that owns these old Koger buildings where we are, very disgruntled individual was screaming lawsuit, and there's a lawyer right in the lobby.
Right below.
They came out, they ushered him in, said, "How can we help you?" They're screaming. No, I'm kidding.
Sit down.
They did. The lawyers did not come out, but we do have lawyers in the lobby. And man, it was crazy what I witnessed in the lobby. All right, so I'll explain it all later on. What happened in the lobby last Tuesday? Why was someone screaming and threatening a lawsuit against the building owners? I'll explain it all. Let me just write this down to remind myself. All right, that's coming up. All right, so none of us. Roxanne, you traveled.
I traveled.
But you came back on Friday.
I came back Friday,
Which
yes.
was actually a pretty good day to travel.
Yeah, I have to tell you, in the Bahamas.
Other than your screaming, miserable kids.
Yeah, so we wanted to like maximize our time there.
Oh yeah, so you maximized your time by coming back on a Friday when you have Saturday and Sunday also.
Right. So
that's how you maximize your time in the Bahamas.
I needed that to get back to life and get organized.
You needed 3 days to get back?
Okay. Anyways, we left at 6:45, left the Bahamas at 6:45.
PM.
Yes, PM. Right. There was nobody in the entire airport.
Yeah, because who's leaving on a holiday weekend on a Friday night at 6:45 to leave the Bahamas?
So we had Rose to ourselves. So that was a nice flight. And then in Miami, Doug didn't tell me that we had a 10:30 flight, which I probably would have said no to that.
My God. So you were in because really the Bahamas to Miami was what, an hour?
Right. So we got there at 7:30.
Oh my God. And then your flight wasn't until 10:30?
Yes.
You had 3 hours in the Miami airport?
Yes.
And Doug didn't tell you this?
No. When we're getting on the plane, I'm like, what time's our connection? What time? Let me get settled, Roxanne. Let me get settled.
Oh,
and
he didn't want to tell you. No, he tried to push you off.
And then once we got there, he's like, okay, I'll try and get us on the 820, but that didn't happen. So that was
miserable. If the planes were all empty, why couldn't he get you on the 820?
We didn't make it in time to that.
From Miami.
From Miami, yeah.
Let me guess. For a couple of days, you guys had 19 checked bags.
Actually, no. We did the Schnitt method, no check-ins.
That would be the MJ method for this show.
The MJ method.
Yeah.
Well, it's your family that does it.
All right, so you guys did no check-ins? You carried on everything?
Carried on everything.
There you go.
So you can double up for the kids. So it was like me, like a Christmas tree of luggage because my kids don't carry their bags. So I have like 5 things. People look at me and hate me when I walk on the plane, but it's like I'm carrying all my kids.
But wait a minute. They don't let you carry too many things on. They usually...
I carry 5 bags on.
Yeah, because she's one for every person in the family. A personal item and a bag.
Yep.
I get it, yeah.
So you're carrying... And did they ever question you? No. Ma'am, you're carrying too much? Or
Doug makes you carry his bag?
No,
awesome.
no.
Did Doug carry any? Well, it doesn't sound like Doug was carrying any of your bags.
Prancing to the door.
What are you? You're like the bellhop.
No, he was carrying probably a child or 2.
Gotcha.
And then so they don't say a word to you. If you have kids, they are just like, hot mess. Keep going. Just try your best to get on this flight.
Gotcha.
But it was kind of miserable coming back on Friday.
The reason why, and I'm still just trying to process you guys coming back on a Friday night when Thanksgiving Thursday.
Woke up in my own bed Saturday morning and got things unpacked.
Well,
you don't want to come back from vacation and get right back to work.
Can I ask, why the hell did you go to the Bahamas on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and part of Friday? I know it was something to do with Derek Jeter, but what was the event? Why were you there?
Just to do a Friendsgiving. It was a Friendsgiving.
Where'd you stay?
Aww. Do you know where I sent you the place? It was the same place that
the FTX.
Yes.
You stayed in that FTX building?
Not in his building. He has a house on.
He has
that
like
property.
a $40 million place there.
Yes, it's that property. It's called Albany.
So you were right near the FTX. The fraudster was within throwing distance of where you were.
He was supposedly out and about, like he used to keep to himself.
Right, so
on the island.
hold on. You've interviewed everyone, and you remind us of this like every single show of all the people you've interviewed. You couldn't hunt down the FTX fraud man?
I was looking for him.
What's his name?
Sam Bankman-Fried.
Bankman-Fried. SBF, right?
SBF.
You couldn't hunt him down and get an interview?
I had my eye out for him at every pool, every bar. I was looking for him. But
Can't
no,
miss
I didn't
him with
find
that
him.
hair.
That's some pretty intense investigating. I was looking for him at every pool, at every bar.
Just look for the ugliest girl you've ever seen and then look right next to him.
All right, his girlfriend is not very attractive, or whatever she is. All right, so the reason why I bring up the travel is I saw, as of late last night, more than 3,000 flights were either delayed, or canceled during the hectic return to reality Sunday post-Thanksgiving travel weekend. Yeah, I guess you had all kinds of flights that were delayed. Thousands, more than 3,000 flights in or out of the United States were delayed as of Sunday afternoon. And I guess yesterday was one of the busiest travel days of the year and certainly of the Thanksgiving season. Yeah, that Friday is just a...
Well, I think you just answered your question
Yeah.
as to why I traveled on Friday, because my flight wasn't canceled and it wasn't full and it wasn't chaos like what everybody dealt with on Saturday and Sunday.
An estimated 54.6 million people were expected to travel at least 50 miles from home this Thanksgiving. And that is almost back to pre-pandemic levels.
Ugh.
They're saying 98 to 99% of the pre-pandemic travel has returned. All right, 6:30. Froggy, do you need me to help you look through the building for your headphones now? Do you want me to help
No,
you?
I'm fine. I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna push it aside.
Have you checked all the rooms?
I'm so pissed.
Did you go to every studio to look for your headphones?
Yes, I've been to everyone except for the Freak Show. They're too freaky for me to go in there.
All right, 6:30. All right, we got a big pile of morons in the news next. I'm very excited. We have a very, very ample pile of morons in the news in minutes. Next on the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. Got a question for you. MJ Morning Show on Q105. It is time for the early Morons in the News. Let's get it going here. 6:37. Froggy, any luck finding your headphones? Froggy just walked back in.
No, sir, none.
You know, a lot of
Somebody took them with them.
You know, a lot of little disasters floating around here. So Froggy's
outrageous.
headphones are gone, and Froggy's flipping out. Roxanne has lost her entire life. We'll get into that later on. Roxanne's running around like a zombie, all freaked out. She looks like a rummage sale today. And
You called me a beach disaster.
well, because
what is that?
I've never seen you look this unfashion coordinated, and apparently this is because of your life that was in this whatever you call it. Roxanne lost something very important, and apparently this is her entire balance in life. This is her circadian rhythm, which has been lost. I mean, fashion-wise,
it's like a phone to me. Really.
listen, I'm not a fashionista, obviously. I'll call myself a fashion disaster. But Roxanne, you're typically put together. And
Yeah.
today it looks like you were in a thrift store explosion. Listen, I'm just being honest. We've got issues here. Froggy's flipping out because someone stole his headphones, his brand new birthday gift.
Unbelievable.
All
But
right.
somebody who doesn't have an office here, so somebody took them, used them, which would have been fine.
You have an office. What are you saying?
No, somebody who stole them doesn't have an office.
I don't know. What does that have to do with
Okay,
your
if
headphones
you
getting ripped off? Is
Steal
it-
something, Froggy. You take it and you leave with it. Nobody. I'm not
That's
gonna,
what happened.
Yeah. I mean,
I have a sneaky suspicion of who did it.
Oh, you think you know who stole your headphones?
Well, it'd have to be a part-timer who's in here on the weekends, number one.
Who's that?
It'd have to be somebody who's able to steal.
what? Somebody with hands?
Yes.
Somebody with arms?
So that one guy with nubs, he's not. He's out. Nubsy, the part-timer.
Nubsy, the part-timer.
I'm just sitting here thinking, I'm going to move on. I don't want to be mad the whole show.
All right. Anyway, I've got early Morons in the News. Let's go. And then we'll deal with Roxanne's life disaster. Do you remember you just unloaded? You went down a whole list of everything
Yeah.
that was in this.
everything.
This is like your day planner. Is that what you call it?
It's everything. It's just my little notes to myself.
All
It's
right.
very personal.
And hang on, Roxanne. Oh, that's the maniacal page,
Yes.
like the psycho pages you showed us.
Yeah.
All right. To call this a daily planner isn't doing it justice. It's essentially just brain droppings and ramblings of a psychopath.
It's a daily psycho log. All right,
It's like a
hang on
manifesto.
minute. And then it's lost. Yeah, it's like a Unabomber manifesto.
It is.
And Roxanne has lost this, but Roxanne says that this is her life balance. All right, hold on. We'll get into that later on. First, though, early Morons of the News here on the MJ Morning Show. By the way, thank you, folks, for listening. Appreciate it. Oh, and if you ever miss any of the show, let's say you're a listener right now. You listen to us every morning around this time. You realize that you might be missing 3 more hours of the show, the 7, 8, 9 o'clock hour. And if you are just a listener at this point, you really need to go back and listen to the podcast or watch MJTV because you don't know what you're missing. Because, listen, frankly, this is the crappiest part of the show.
oh, I don't know about that.
I'm kidding around. No, but there's just there's so much more that we do. So, I mean, you want to make sure that you catch the rest of our program. So go to mjmorningshow.com. You can listen to our podcasts. You can go to MJTV. Click on MJTV at mjmorningshow.com. And obviously, you can watch us live from 6 to 10 a.m. every time we have a live show, Monday through Friday. Or you can go back and watch the video archive. You can watch any of our shows from the beginning. Let's say you want to watch, today's show tomorrow. You just go to mjmorningshow.com, click on MJTV, and then click on the day, and it's all of us in studio. Watch us on MJTV. See the cameras in the studio while we do the show. Or, we're on all the major podcast platforms. We're on Spotify. We're on Apple. You can go to the MyQ105 app, and you can listen to our podcasts. And I got to be honest, you know how everyone and their uncle and their dog has a podcast these days?
Yes.
There's a lot of crappy I mean, there's just awful. Let's be honest. 99% of the podcasts out there are awful and they suck.
Well, it's just people having conversations, so it depends how sucky the people are who are having the conversation.
Well, I'm just saying that the bulk of the podcasts out there, everyone thinks they're a podcaster.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter. Whoever I run into, it's like, oh, and I've got a podcast.
Oh, I have a podcast.
They think they're like on a new level. Anyone that has a little computer microphone and does a podcast, they think that they're this groundbreaking, world-changing podcaster. I'm telling you.
All right, let's not get the podcast community on us.
I'm just telling you, whoever I run into these days, it doesn't matter. If I run into Best Buy to grab a wire or something.
Hey, you're MJ from the MJ Morning Show. Hey, I listen every day. Hey,
no, it's not.
Do me a favor. Will you listen to my podcast?
They don't recognize me per se, but it's like you're just checking out, and hey, you listen to my podcast.
You get podcast requests unsolicited.
I've been checking out at a store. And they'll say, hey, I do a podcast about the retail business. I'm like, wow.
Well, that's awesome.
I'm telling you. Or people that I'm introduced to, and it's like, oh, and this is so-and-so, and, they're the host of the blankety-blank podcast. I'm like, what? I've never heard of. It's like everyone thinks that they're a star now because they can have a podcast.
I'd be careful.
The point is that 99% of the podcasts out there, they suck. They blow chunks. And our podcast is a pretty damn solid radio show that goes wall to wall with good content every single day. So if you're looking for a podcast that doesn't suck and you're into the whole podcast thing, don't forget that our radio show is made into a daily podcast. And pound for pound, I challenge you to find, information and content as solid as what we do. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I'm starting a new podcast.
All right, so hold on a minute. Why are you warning me about be careful?
Oh, because there's
the podcast community. Be careful.
It's like skateboarders versus bicycle riders. It's a big clashing community. The podcasters think they're better than the radio guys. Radio guys think they're better than the podcasters.
Right, so why do I need to be careful?
Well, they're just so damn many of them too.
They're like Swifties, really.
Mm-hmm.
They will attack you.
They will.
And there's so many. Everybody literally has one. So.
Oh, you brought up, this is prior to podcasts, but do you remember, you brought up bicycles. Remember, we had a guy that we worked with, and I think he had left the market, and I think he went to a different radio station on the West Coast. Do you remember that? I think we talked about this on the show. He had like the entire bicycle community on the planet turned against him, and didn't he get fired? We had a guy we used
for the door opening incident?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, it was Twitch.
Was that
No, Kramer.
Kramer.
Twitch.
Kramer. Twitch worked with Kramer.
Yeah.
Now, what happened? So Kramer, he used to do nights when we were at FLZ years ago.
He was in Detroit doing a talk show, and he said...
I thought he was in, Seattle. No?
He was in Detroit for a while doing FM talk, and he said to his listeners... If you see a bicycle rider coming behind you, open your doors.
Your car door. And it's like, what?
And they would smash into it.
And fly over the car door.
Which is
that is pretty
horrific.
Crazy idea. That is nuts.
But that was like his big stunt.
Does nobody take a joke anymore?
Well,
anybody's really going to do it?
People can't understand what a guy means when he's joking?
He suggested that, and then suddenly it turned into this nationwide outrage.
Unbelievable.
In the bicycle community. And they went after him like he was a puppy killer.
And he inevitably got fired.
They fired him. He got fired. The pressure was so intense because he suggested that if you see a bicyclist on the road, you open your car door just as they're coming by, which is a terrible thing. That is a horror show.
Especially if your car is moving.
If you do that intentionally, you ought to be in prison. You ought to go to jail.
That's not good.
You ought to be arrested for a assault or a battery or whatever. That's terrible. But this radio dude, this Kramer guy, he made that suggestion, and the bike community, the marathon bike rider, all the clubs, the groups, they went after him, and I believe the radio station fired him over that incident.
And listen, the podcast community is even stronger than the bicycle community. That's why I'm saying be careful.
They're going to come after you.
They're going to throw igloo microphones at your head
for saying that 99% of the podcasts out there suck.
I'll tell you right now, MJ.
Yeah.
Kramer has a podcast, so he's coming after you.
Is it about Schwinns?
It's about Huffies.
Let's do some early morons in the news here on the MJ Morning Show. Texas woman sets fire to boyfriend's home in a jealous rage. That headline caught my attention. Jealous rage, setting boyfriend's home on fire. This woman in Texas is accused of setting her boyfriend's family home on fire and FaceTimed him to show off the blaze because she assumed that he was cheating on her. So set the home on fire and then FaceTimed him to say, hey, look, I've just set your home on fire.
Wow.
Senada Marie Soto, 23, accused of breaking into the San Antonio, Texas home shortly before 2 a.m. on Sunday and trying to exact revenge on her boyfriend, according to the Bexar County Sheriff's Office. Soto had FaceTimed her boyfriend when another woman answered his phone, who later turned out to be a relative of the boyfriend. She went into a rage and allegedly set fire to a couch in the living room, which quickly engulfed the entire home.
Wow.
The jealous woman then FaceTimed the boyfriend again to show a chair up in flames.
Yeah, I have the picture here of the couch, and it is not fireproof.
Hey, take a look at this. How does the FaceTime? When my FaceTime rings, it's like it makes it like some kind of a
different sound.
like a ringtone. Oh, hey, take a look at this. Look at it. You know what this is? This is your couch on fire.
How very Lisa Left Eye Lopez of her.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she's
Right.
she's not alive anymore.
She sure isn't. No, she.
No.
Lisa Left Eye. She
Plane crash.
Okay.
No.
No.
Car crash.
Okay, so Aaliyah died in a plane crash.
right
Lisa Left Eye Lopez
in the Bahamas, by the way.
died in the thing in Nicaragua.
Yeah,
in
something
a
like
car
that.
accident.
You
Really?
can see the accident
Wow.
online. It's awful.
Anyway, the woman then FaceTimes the boyfriend. She's got furniture on fire inside the house, and then she said, "I hope your stuff is going to be okay," and then ended the FaceTime call.
Oh.
So the whole living room is on fire. The furniture is a 3-alarm fire, and it says, hey, take a look. Your living room is burning. Hope everything's going to be okay. Then she allegedly texted her boyfriend, I hope your house is okay, and then drove off. The car was filled with several items that Soto allegedly took out of the home before she set it on fire. The blaze caused over $50,000 in damage. She was arrested and charged with burglary, habitation, and arson. Her bond was set at $165,000. So I guess she's probably still all locked
He
up.
just went all wicker with furniture.
I thought it would be such a good look.
That's what we call a moron in the news there. Hey, when we get back, we'll continue with part 2 of the morons in the news. Now, I got a couple of things. Now, we got a pawn shop problem in Polk County. We have you guys seen the Hatchet story locally?
Yeah.
What the? I mean, I don't know what's going on. And we had a busy weekend here in the Tampa Bay area. We got a couple of things that are just out of control, and we'll get to all that next. Don't move. And then if we have time, Roxanne's whole life is falling apart. And listen, I don't want to see Roxanne all out of pocket, out of sorts, but Roxanne is just way off kilter today because she's lost something very important. All right, hold on to that thought. We're loaded, and we're back in minutes on the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. Hey, as the... Q105. Hey, folks, MJ here with Roxanne, Fester, Froggy, 7 o'clock exactly here on a Monday. Froggy, any luck finding your headphones? Oh, are those them? Oh, no.
These are my old ones.
The old ones. All right.
Negative.
All right.
They've been taken and they're gone.
All right. The switcheroo. Ooh, the big old switcheroo. Again, I got a big old warning. Don't fall for the switcheroo. We'll explain in a minute. All right, first, though, just some odd happenings around town. And then, you might not want to rely on this as far as like a goodwill thing goes. I'll explain in a second. First of all, on a very sad note, a woman here in St. Petersburg has passed away after she was hit in the head with a hatchet. So, again, I get flooded with texts and emails, people I know, friends, relatives, radio people that I know that are working in other parts of the country, and they're like saying, what the hell happens in the Tampa Bay area? What is going on? Because listen, like Pinellas County, for instance, there are a couple of big stories. This lady gets hit in the head with a hatchet. This has become a national story. Irene Cara,
Right?
the singer, she just died in Largo. Who knew she lived in Largo? I had no idea she lived in Largo.
Irene Cara?
Yes.
Why did she keep that a secret?
Fame, Flashdance. We'll get into all that in just a second. First, though, this is a sad story. According to the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office, Lisa Rogers Eaton, 56, was pronounced dead at Bayfront on Saturday. And this was, I guess, a couple of days after she was attacked with a hatchet by a man that she let stay in her home. Yeah, this is a terrible story. Pinellas County deputies said that they found the 56-year-old woman with a hatchet embedded in her head. I'm like, what? This is like a horror movie. And this is the kind of story that happens here. And suddenly, my friends, relatives, they want to know, where the hell am I living? The Tampa Bay area, it's like we are a magnet for this stuff. It is nonstop. And now I got a poor woman with a hatchet in her head.
Am I imagining things, or are there more hatchet stories lately, just in general?
Name a second one.
I don't know. I just feel like I've seen the word hatchet, and I thought to myself,
I don't
yeah.
know.
I mean, audit my memory of hatchet stories. It just sounds familiar. The violence
I wasn't coming at her. I mean, she said it seems like a lot. I don't know that.
seems like
I can't think of another hatchet in the head story recently.
maybe not locally, but I feel like if people wielding, I can picture
yes.
in my head, so and so was wielding a hatchet.
I'm with you.
Are you?
Thank you.
You name a second one.
I had Molly Hatchet pop up on my playlist. This is a terrible story. Pinellas County deputies found this woman who was attacked by a 40-year-old by the name of Michael Doherty. Yeah, he's also of St. Pete.
And he doesn't look right. I mean, you want to talk about nut-looking mugshots.
Yeah, I'm looking at this guy's mugshot. This Michael Doherty, he looks like he's it looks like he's not playing with a full deck. Yeah, deputies said Doherty was later found after he fled about 3 o'clock in the morning, a couple of days later in Alachua County. He was pulled over by a deputy. So initially he was charged with attempted second-degree murder, but now the charge has been upgraded to second-degree murder. This is insane. So rest in peace, Lisa Rogers Eaton. What a way to go. I mean, deputies from Pinellas County show up and the woman's got a hatchet in her head. That's like a flippin' horror movie, man.
Ugh. Good morning.
Jeez, that's just
Gruesome.
terrible.
At this time, I would like to issue an apology
Yes.
to Roxanne.
Uh-oh.
Mm-hmm.
Did we do another hatchet story recently?
I don't know if we did it or didn't do it, but in the last month, there have been 2 other very significant hatchet-related incidents in this country.
See?
That's a hatchet epidemic.
Man from Sugar Land, Texas gets 10 years for assaulting girlfriend with a hatchet.
Jeez.
And in Fort Bend, Indiana, hatchet attack sends man to prison. So it's been in the
Fort
news.
Bend?
South.
I've heard of South Bend. I've heard of Fort Wayne, but is there really a Fort Bend?
I might have got ahead of myself on the Indiana part. I thought South.
No, it says Fort Bend Herald.
You know what? It might be the same story. So they're both from Texas, but some guy got sent to jail
Oh,
for
Fort Bend, Texas.
I'm sorry.
All right.
I
Not
just-
Indiana.
I
Texas.
just did a Google search on wielding hatchet.
Yeah, that's what Fester did. Where do you think Fester got all these?
Did you do wielding?
I used attack.
I don't
Yeah.
think wielding is.
Wielding is yielding even more.
Oh, really? So
Yes.
Wielding is yielding?
A 23-year-old woman used a hatchet to slash a female victim in New York.
Jeez.
Yeah.
So Roxanne,
hatchet trend.
We are currently hatchet attacks are the new hotness.
Is there a
apparently.
hatchet sale somewhere we don't know about?
I think hatchets need to be banned.
How are we going to get rid of our brush?
I need hatchet control. That's crazy stuff. All right. Then we have this woman in Polk County. You know, it's not a good idea if you try to run over 2 deputies while fleeing a pawn shop. It's not good. That's going to get your charges enhanced if you try to run deputies over. Yeah, out of Lakeland, 27-year-old woman from the lovely enclave of Davenport. She is, in a heap of trouble. This is one of those deals where you can say, you're in trouble. Yeah, she is accused of hitting 2 deputies in Polk County while leaving a pawn shop over the weekend out in Lakeland.
So she was doing her Black Friday shopping at Lakeland Value Pawn or something?
Well, deputies responded to a call about Karina Holder. What was that, Andrew? What are you saying? I have no idea what you're saying. Say it again.
And so you're covering yourself with the paper on the camera. You're holding the sheet.
He's...
That's okay. We don't need to see him all
Andrew's
show.
yelling that I'm holding the story
Well,
in front of my
to
face.
let you know.
All right, well, thank you.
People want to see that mug.
Andrew's yelling at me. I'm covering up my face with the story on MJTV.
We should really position MJ's camera to the other side. He always holds the paper in front
So
of the camera.
deputies go to a call about this woman who turns out to be Karina Holder using a stolen credit card to try to buy something at the Max Pay pawn shop in Lakeland. According to the Polk County Sheriff's Office press release that I'm looking at here. Authorities then show up, so the deputies arrive at the scene. They try to interview the woman. She's ignoring the deputies. She gets into her car and tries to flee the pawn shop. Once she was in the car, the woman drove straight at the 2 Polk County deputies. The deputies then fired at her. They actually fired at her multiple times to stop the car to protect themselves.
That car's a weapon.
Of course they're going to fire.
Yes, the car struck both of the deputies, so they must not have, the shots obviously didn't take her out. After hitting the deputies, she continued to leave the scene, but that she was finally caught later on about 2 miles away by additional units. So the deputies were hit by their car. Neither of the deputies sustained any very serious injuries. Apparently, the suspect has a criminal history of fraud and violence, and that's what happened. That's exactly what happened here today, according to Grady Judd, Polk County Sheriff, in a statement. Fraudulent activity is now how this began, and she elevated it to violence by trying to kill 2 deputies with her car. Fortunately, she was quickly apprehended, and even more fortunate is that neither one of the deputies were seriously hurt. Listen, I'm glad the deputies weren't seriously hurt, but they probably need to touch up on their target practice at the range because they didn't hit her.
I mean, I'm not one to critique the Polk County Sheriff's Office too critically. However, wouldn't the priority be just to get out of the way of the car instead of standing there and still get hit and not hit the driver?
Well, if the car's coming at you, you might not have the time to react.
You have time to draw and miss shots?
Again, the weapons might have been out, and they're coming right at her.
Oh, be glad I'm not in internal affairs.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm sure this was going to be a justified shooting.
Sure.
But they were not able to cap her.
I just want to say...
This is a capable offense. I mean, if you're trying to run over...
Is that official language?
It's capable.
This is a capable... You're trying to run over 2 Polk County deputies. Yeah, I would say that this is a capable offense. Yeah, cops are able to shoot people that are trying to run them over with their car. But I'm just saying, maybe they ought to brush up on the target practice if they were not able to. I'd like to know where the bullets went. But yeah, if I were like like internal affairs reviewing this, you try to run over a cop, that is a justified shooting.
No question. So I'm on Max Pay Pawn's website.
Yeah.
This place is pretty awesome. This might be worth a trip. Next time I'm in Lakeland, I'm going to swing by.
Swing by the Max Pay Pawn Shop?
On Cumbie Road.
On Cumbie Road.
Yeah, that's right.
Stop on by. Say hello over there. All right. This is just going to be quick. Folks, if it is cold outside, or I can think of maybe it's hot outside. If you're trying to run your car because you're trying to heat it up, there is no written rule or even an unwritten rule that your car should not be stolen. So listen, this goes both ways. This could be a Florida hot story. This could be, in this case, a Texas gas station. Actually, that's a second story. This is actually New Hampshire. I said Texas inadvertently.
Yeah, significantly colder in New Hampshire.
This happened in New Hampshire, and this guy was warming up his car because it was cold outside, and the car was stolen. And he's like, "Wait a minute! I was warming up my car, and it was stolen." Well, I don't think there's anything that says that there's like this courtesy among car thieves that if you're just heating up your car because it's cold outside. I don't think there's any kind of an unwritten rule that, oh, no, thieves will not steal your car if it's running because you're trying to heat it up because it's cold outside.
That's just car thieving etiquette, right?
No, I'm saying I don't think there's a rule. If you leave
the car thief will be like, wow, that car's heated up already.
If you're leaving your car running, it's fair game for a car thief. And I guess we could say the same thing. This could be a Florida story that if it was hot outside and you were just letting your car run to cool off inside, that would be the same kind of deal if a thief took advantage and it was a crime of opportunity. Oh, look, a car's running. You can't say, oh, it's hot out. I started my car to cool it down because it was so hot inside. I don't think there's a courtesy among car thieves where they won't steal certain cars.
Thou shalt not steal car that is currently warming up.
Yeah, so this story is a Concord, New Hampshire guy was just warming up his car because it was very cold outside. It was a 2018 Subaru Legacy. And he just said, hey, I was warming up the car and somebody just took it. And he's like, now, is that the right thing to do? I was just warming up the car. Again, sir, there is not this rule that car thieves know that you're just warming up your car. That's why it's running unattended. You don't let your car run.
Idiot.
So the guy apparently left his gym bag in the car.
All kinds of stuff in the car.
But he had his AirPods in his gym bag, and they were able to track the guy down because of the Find My Phone app. They help police.
Yeah. Smart.
So this dude is in, guy's name is McCormick, and this happened in Concord, New Hampshire. So, but again, the most important thing of the story is you can't just say, hey, I'm going to leave my car running unattended. It's cold out or it's hot out. I want to warm it up or I want to cool it down. The thieves are not going to say, you know what, there's an honor here. I'm not going to steal a car.
I'm going to steal a car that's not being warmed up.
Let me point something else out. And this is an MJ Morning Show public service announcement. Do you know the number of people that will leave their car running like at a convenience store?
That's a much bigger epidemic here in Florida.
It's huge here in Florida. It's massive. People will pull up to a Wawa, a Circle K, a 7-Eleven, a Thornton's, a racetrack. I mean, you name it. People pull up to convenience stores, will hop. I see it all the time. They'll hop out of their car and they'll just leave it running in front of the. What are you thinking? Car thieves know this. Joyriders know this. They'll just hang out and wait for someone to pull up, leave their car running, doors open, and then steal the car. Don't leave your car running. I don't know what's the matter with people. All right, when we get back to the switcheroo, heads up, if you're in retail, especially in jewelry, this is the oldest trick in the book, the switcheroo. Also, Roxanne, are we prepared to talk about your whole life, which has been lost?
I'm feeling more anxious as the
Yeah,
days
I
even
know.
going
Listen,
on.
I feel bad for you.
Bitchy.
I have a feeling I know what this kind of feels like. All right, Roxanne is really out of sorts. Roxanne is teetering on the edge of a breakdown. She lost something crucial. Kind of old school, but hang on. We'll get. And are you worried about some of the secrets that this thing keeps?
I mean, if you can read the writing, you can read the secrets, but that's
right.
kind of tough.
All right, hold on. She's having a meltdown. Roxanne is melting down. We'll explain it all. And that's just scratching the surface because we start the really long chunk of the MJ Morning Show next. 1 hour and 20 minutes nonstop next. Don't move. Quick break. Want to talk to you about my good friend. MJ Morning Show on Q105. Hey, MJ here, Fester, Froggy, Roxanne. Where's Froggy and Roxanne? They're not in the studio. I was about to talk about Roxanne's meltdown. She's still hunting down her lost item.
All right, between the two of them, they're both a hot mess.
They're a mess. Folks, it's just Fester and me in the studio right now. Oh, Roxanne's walking in. Oh, here comes Froggy. They're total messes. Froggy's brand new headphones disappeared. Froggy came in, I guess, to record something on Saturday and left his brand new $90 Sony headphones that he got as a gift, I would imagine, from Kim for his birthday, and somebody boosted them. They're gone. Someone stole them.
Gone.
And then Roxanne, let's deal with Roxanne's little meltdown. Then we'll get into the whole switcheroo deal. And, man, this is the oldest trick in the book. Oh, man, the switcheroo. All right, Roxanne. Let's talk about your meltdown here. You kind of live old school. You have a written, like a diary book.
I like to write things down. It just feels good. It gets your brain going in a good direction when you write things down. It doesn't mean I don't text message myself reminders of things and put things in a digital calendar, but I like everything written down.
I used to write everything down. So I had like a 3-ring binder, and I would write my show sheet out manually. So every day, like today, the header would be Monday, November 28th, 2022.
It's a very good show you have prepped there.
And then I would write down all my show notes. But some years ago, I went to like just a Word doc. And I'll hold it up to the camera here real quick. So I went to a Word doc, and then I list my things, and then I make handwritten notes as well on my Word doc. And Michelle has been on my butt. Michelle has been trying to push me back to notebooks because there is a good amount of research that shows that, like with students, like with kids, they retain more when they write things down versus making notes on an iPad, a tablet, a computer. The research shows that you have better memory retention when you actually handwrite notes than take the notes electronically.
And you can brainstorm better. You come up with better ideas when you're using your hand to write.
I don't know about that. I don't know. I don't know about the science with that, but if you say so.
I remember better if I write it.
Well, that's, Michelle, she's been on my butt for a while. You need to start writing your notes again. I used to save my notebooks. I think
for what, though? Like for the show?
Yeah, I had stacks. I would go to Staples or Office Depot, and I'd buy like 20 binders or 20 little notebooks, just regular like college ruled notebooks.
You'd fill them up, on one a month or
exactly.
so? Exactly.
Probably a little more than a month, but I would keep all of the shows. I think I think Michelle saved them all. I think we got a couple of boxes with all my show notebooks going back for years. But she's been yelling at me. Now, Roxanne, all right, folks, this is a problem. Roxanne, you've talked about this in the past. You've showed us this because you have some pages in your little notebook. Describe it. It's a white. It's a white book.
It's just a little white leather-bound notebook. It has all of my. It's planned out by week, by day, by year.
But you have phone numbers in there.
I have phone numbers. I have what I'm going to wear for the next 365 days.
Stop. One thing at a time. You're going too fast. Stop.
Okay.
All right. So you have all your phone numbers written in a book instead of having them in the contacts on your phone?
Well, that's in case something happens to my phone.
Oh, my gosh. Somebody's going to have DJ's number.
All right.
There are all kinds. Yeah, there's a lot of private numbers in there.
But then you had several pages that look like.
Did you look in my? How do you know everything that's in it?
You shared this with us, Roxanne.
You told us this stuff this morning. You told us about all of your contacts were in there. Then you've showed us in the past. Remember, we've worked together now for about 2 years. You've showed us this book because you had a couple of maniacal, crazy pages where it is every square, like millimeter of the page has stuff written on it. It looks like a serial killer murder wall. It does. I'm telling you, her book, you have pages that you have stuff written on every different axis, every angle. You have notes written in corners and circles.
I do.
It's like a psycho serial killer page.
Like someone threw up words all over the pages.
That's what it looks like. and you have all kinds of things written all haphazardly. You told us earlier, this is when we first started, this is off the air, that you're a wreck. And you were looking you're like turning over everything in the studio, looking for this little white book that you say contains your entire life.
Yeah, so I realized it was missing last Monday before I went on vacation. I don't leave the house without it. Like if we go into a restaurant, I have it with me in the restaurant. It's really weird.
Why would you bring this book into a restaurant with you?
In case I want to write something down. And so I realized Monday that it was missing.
Sounds like an OCD thing of sorts.
Yeah, it is.
All right.
And
so the other thing was you keep track of what you wear. You have a whole chart of day, date, and what you wear, and that's how you put your wardrobe together?
Because I don't want to have to think about it. So basically, I have everything written down, so I don't ever have to make a decision. I don't have to think about it. Oh, what am I going to wear today? There it is. It's written down. There's some deviations if the weather changes.
I said earlier that today you look like a what did I say?
You said I would look like a beach disaster.
Yeah. But Roxanne, I've never seen you this out of sorts when it comes to your fashion.
Yeah, and because I don't have my book, so I just grabbed something.
It looks like you're wearing like a terry cloth beach bottom. It looks seriously. Stand up. Show the camera what you.
The camera doesn't want to see.
Yes, but you've got.
What does it match about those? It looks those red shorts.
Hang on, it looks
They're
like
orange.
He's colorblind.
Listen to me. It looks like you have a disco nightclub top on, and then you've got like terry cloth beach pants on,
cover-up pants.
Exactly. Am I wrong?
Well, I mean, nobody would know if you didn't make me stand up because they just see the top.
Well, they can't see your pants.
Now they can.
Well, Roxanne.
Can they? All right, back up a little bit so people can see this. And you're saying that you look uncoordinated. You look like a thrift store explosion today because you lost your white book.
Yes, I need my white book to function, and I thought I was so I tore my house apart on Monday, and then I just said, Roxanne, go on vacation.
What was that like going on vacation to the Bahamas for like 4 days without your white book?
It felt weird. It felt weird. But, a lot of chasing the kids and a lot of things to do, a lot of drinking. So I was able to forget that I didn't have it with me. But then
because those two activities go hand in hand, chasing the kids.
What's going on in your life? Because also, didn't you text everyone this morning that you can't find your key card?
Yes.
To get into the building?
And it starts with the white notebook. Because I don't have that, it's like a cascade. It's like a domino effect of everything else. And now I can't find my key card. Now I can't find an outfit to wear.
Your white notebook has all of your fashion coordination.
Yes, it has
all of your phone numbers and important friends listed.
Yes.
You keep track of your wardrobe.
I have all the important areas of my life.
You've got the psycho graffiti wall pages where you just write all kinds of stuff haphazardly.
Yes, and then things that have to be done within each of those important areas, like my kids' school, life, business.
Right. What happens?
Everything.
Stop. What happens if you can't find this? What happens if it's gone forever?
I'm trying. As we speak,
are you going to melt like the Witch and the Wizard of Oz?
No, it's
melting. What's going to happen?
Okay, that could happen, but what I'm trying to do right now is I'm trying to recreate it in a new notebook. And you know how you said when you write things down, it kind of sticks. And I read it all the time. So I think I'm going to be able to come back maybe like 70% of what was in that book.
You're trying to now from memory copy into a new book?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I think I can
You're
do
trying
about
to
70%.
be like photographic memory. Really?
I'm not going to be able to do it with the phone numbers.
I mean, when you take a test, a lot of times they say, listen, as soon as you sit down for the test, jot down everything you remember so you can refer back to it. And Roxanne remembers a lot of it.
But I was really hoping that I'd come here to work today and find my notebook somewhere here because it's not at home. So it's now. I've torn this place apart.
When did you last see it? When did you last see it? You saw it
Monday.
Last Monday, so a week ago today. And where did you last see it? Where was it last in your possession?
I don't remember now, but I remember Monday night frantically looking for it and thinking, well, you wrote down XYZ, which you needed to take care of today, so you must have had it today at work. So I had it at work on Monday. Now that I've torn the 1010 studio apart, the other studio down there, this studio, it's not in here.
Maybe
somebody stole it when they stole Froggy's headphones.
Maybe someone took it and now they're going through your entire life and they know the secrets that you keep when you're talking in your sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Well, a couple of things. One, Roxanne has a chicken scratch handwriting. It's actually kind of difficult to read. So maybe they won't be able to decipher it.
Possibly.
All right. Well, listen, I feel for you. I mean, no one likes to lose something that's, I had somebody, this is a long time ago. This is back in Los Angeles. When I was working in L.A. Back in 89, 90, 91, I had one of those digital organizers. I think it was 1990. And I think it might have been Sharp. It was one of those digital organizers. It was the old, like, black and white LCD screen and like an old calculator screen. But it was a digital organizer.
Right.
And it was like a brown plastic folding digital organizer. This is like an early one of these things. And I can't remember where I got it, but I put like all the stuff in, like I used to have the old day runners, with the Velcro zip. You used to open up the day runners. I went to this digital device and it was in my studio and somebody ripped it off out of my studio.
Oh, no.
And-
Man, I hate the feeling of being stolen from.
Yeah, that's to this day, I still remember somebody ripping off my digital organizer. Somebody went in my studio and stole it. I have a good idea that I thought it was I thought it was a guy named Max who wore parachute pants to work every day.
That was a thing, man.
It was.
Yeah.
This guy wore MC Hammer parachute pants to work every single day.
Which will easily fit your electronics device.
Yeah, so I think he ripped the damn thing off. I don't know where he is.
What's up with radio people being kleptos?
Oh, man, it's terrible.
What the hell?
So I'll tell you, being in radio for all these years, I started when I was 16 years old. I started in Chesapeake, Virginia, because I
Insane.
in the Virginia Beach area. By the way, Chesapeake is where that horrible Walmart shooting was. My
Great.
first radio job was in Chesapeake, Virginia. And I've seen everything since I was 16 years old, man, working in this business. And a lot of radio people are transient bums. All right, there are a lot of. They'll tell you there are a lot of thieves.
It's just insane.
Yeah, they'll rip off crap. I had to fire a guy before I came to Tampa. Before I was hired by the Power Pig, and I joined BJ, and we launched the MJ and BJ morning show back in February of '94. I was in West Palm Beach, and I was the program director, and I was the morning guy
Oh, God.
on 95.5 WOVV in West Palm Beach. And I had to fire a guy. He took the hinges off the prize closet door and stole crap. I mean, literally, took the hinge.
How desperate.
Took a screwdriver and tapped the hinges off the prize closet door, took the door off, and stole stuff out of. He was a weekend part-timer.
It's always the part-timer.
I had to fire the guy.
I remember one guy busted through the roof to break into the prize closet to then open the door from the lock on the inside and hustle stuff out.
All right, let's move on to Roxanne. Listen, I feel for you. There's no degree of schadenfreude here. I hope you find your white book of magic or whatever the hell you call it.
Yeah, because God knows what you'll wear tomorrow.
Does it have your potions and spells in there?
No, but it has every year what I want my ideal day to
So
be like.
is your clothing going to look like a rummage sale again tomorrow?
Quite possibly.
Okay. All right. Yes, Andrew.
How far back does that book go?
Yeah, that's a good
That's
question.
a good question, but I do like to. This one is about a year back.
Do you have the old ones all on a shelf somewhere at your house?
Yeah, not on a shelf, but I have them. I keep them because I want to know what I did.
It's more of
You
an
check in between the seat of your car,
did.
under the seats?
I did. Yeah.
Because you know how crap is. The most unlikely place that something could actually fall. Like if I'm working on something, a little screw disappears. It just It goes to the most remote, ridiculous place. You know.
Yeah.
In a shoe sometimes.
Ooh. Yeah. Need to check there.
Ooh.
All right. Listen, I wish you the best. I hope you can put your life back together.
I'm trying. Thank you.
All right, the switcheroo. We have a lot to cover here, folks. Don't move. We're going for over an hour and 20 minutes nonstop right now here on the MJ Morning Show. The old switcheroo. This is an old trick. And you'd think that employees would be kind of trained a little better. The old jewelry store switcheroo. A customer comes in, wants to see a ring, and let's say some expensive ring, a diamond's taken out of the case. They look at it, and then they do the whole sleight of hand switcheroo, and they hand back a very similar ring that's just a chunk of glass or some kind of CZ. And this happened at a Costco. Do you know that Costco, the jewelry counter at Costco?
Yeah.
They sometimes sell some really expensive crap. I've seen Breitling watches worth, $5,000-$8,000. I've seen Cartier. I've seen expensive jewelry and watches at Costco. Don't you remember, like years ago, maybe 5-10 years ago? Remember there was a story that Costco had. What are they selling, like a $500,000 diamond or something?
Oh, I got my Cartier at Costco. Yeah.
Yeah, doesn't that take away from getting? If you're gonna get that, get it somewhere proper.
Well,
Jeeves, pick up some $5 chickens too.
Yes, sir. Right away, sir.
Listen, one of my clients, one of my in the places that I endorse is International Diamond Center. I would recommend going to a well-established jewelry place instead of Costco.
But can I get 5 pounds of butter at International Diamond Center? Yeah.
That's what
you can't, son. No, you can't.
They have the new frozen food lockers. I want to get a 10-pound bag of salmon. Yeah, they don't have that. I don't see International Diamond Center going in that direction. But at Costco, you can get some kimchi and some frozen egg rolls, and then get a diamond ring. I don't know about buying the jewelry at Costco. Anyway, all right. But this is where it happened. The switcheroo, and this has happened to jewelry stores, and not just like a Costco.
So you're talking about the customer switcheroo to the clerk. Okay.
Yeah. 49-year-old woman walked into a Costco in Clifton, New Jersey, went right for the jewelry department, asked the clerk if she could see one of the diamond rings that she had spotted in the case. It was a $28,000 diamond ring. So, yes, Costco has some expensive stuff. $28,000 diamond ring. The employee took the ring out. The customer looked at the ring, held it in her hand, tried it on before handing it back to the employee, and then walked off. She didn't make the purchase. The woman swapped the expensive ring for a cheaper one that she had allegedly stolen earlier that day from a different Costco location. That ring was $1,999, but by the time management realized they'd been duped, the woman had already left the store. Police eventually tracked her down at home, but the stolen ring was nowhere to be found.
How'd they track her down? Her Costco card?
Yeah, so now we're they didn't reveal all the details in the story that I saw on how they tracked her down. But this is like a double whammy. Stole one ring from a different Costco and then went to the second Costco in Clifton, New Jersey, and then went right for this $28,000 ring and did the switcheroo. A lot of times people walk into jewelry stores in these cases of switcheroo. They're not lifting it from another jewelry store per se. They'll have just some costume piece of junk that, if you've got a clerk that's not very attentive, you just got to be careful. If you're working at a jewelry store, you do not want to be the victim of the old sleight of hand switcheroo. So you want to be very, very careful.
I mean, you got to figure, how well trained are the jewelry personnel at a big box warehouse?
At Costco, probably not very.
I mean, if you're going to pull a hot scam, it seems like they're, never mind. I don't want to give anybody any more ideas.
What are you about to say? If you want to pull a jewelry switcheroo scam, Costco's the place to do it? Is that what you're suggesting?
I would not want to go to a professional diamond establishment where they're trained gemologists. Is that what they are? Or whatever they're called, where they know what they're doing and they deal with hundreds of customers for big ticket purchases and who are aware of this, as opposed to somebody who, I work for Costco for $12 an hour and, it's my part-time job.
Don't you know who I am? Remember my name. I'm gonna live forever.
Oh, boy. Who knew that Irene Cara lived right here in the Tampa Bay area in Largo? Hold on a minute. Andrew raised his hand. Andrew,
of course you.
How the hell did Andrew, our producer, know that Irene Cara, who passed away way too young, how did you know that Irene Cara lived in the Tampa Bay area?
It's just one of those little insignificant details I've known for a long time.
It's a little tidbit.
Yeah, Andrew has like Jeopardy knowledge. I mean, he knows like things that really don't matter, but he knows them.
Well, Irene Cara, 63 years old, has died. First of all, We don't know details on the death. At least I have not seen any of the details. Every report that I saw, for instance, this is from the Tampa Bay Times. This is all over TMZ. This is stories everywhere.
Can we assume that she listened to Q105 because they play Flashdance? We play Flashdance all the
I want to
time.
hear myself again.
You know what? It's maybe not a bad idea because, I mean, Q105 certainly plays.
What I feel, keeps believing. I can't have it all now, dancing for my life.
Also, that was the song that we used when we scammed American Idol. I wonder if she knew that. I wonder if she knew that the MJ Morning Show, we scammed American Idol back in season 3 with Kristen and
Lamosa.
and Lamosa. Yeah.
It just seems like we would have loved to have connected with her in some way if we knew she lived here, but she kind of lived the life of a recluse kind of,
Well,
right? Is what I
that's
heard.
what the story in the St. Pete Times says.
And she lived a lie in her
I'm sorry,
music.
the Tampa Bay Times. I still want to call it the St. Pete Times. I'm sorry.
She's living a lie in her music.
Like I
because-
still want to call it the Ice Palace. Not the. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Yeah. For
What's the lie?
It doesn't matter.
Go ahead. What were you saying?
Say
I
the
was
lie.
going to say,
First
I
thing
wanna
I
live
thought
forever.
of. Yeah, first thing I thought of.
his very unfortunate lyric for the I want to live for.
No, I'm gonna.
I'm gonna live forever.
Just you didn't.
Telling you right now, 63 is way too young.
Yeah,
Thoughts
Yeah.
and prayers to her friends, her family. But apparently, according to the Tampa Bay Times article, she was a recluse. Let me read a little bit from the Tampa Bay Times. Actor and singer Irene Cara. I've heard some people pronounce it Cara.
Okay.
Also, so over the years, I've heard some in the business say it's not Cara, although most people say Cara. It's like Dick Cheney, the former vice president. People say Dick Cheney, but actually it's pronounced Cheney. That's the way you really pronounce it. So I don't know if it's Irene Cara or Irene Cara.
That's probably the first time anybody's ever used Dick Cheney and Irene Cara in the same
All you have
sentence.
to do is look up an Irene Cara interview and see how she's introduced. Cara.
Well, not necessarily. You need to hear her pronounce her name.
Who gives a turkey?
Anyway, she died at 63, according to her publicist, Judith A. Moose. Publicist's name is Moose, Moose.
Yes, hello. Elk,
I have never heard of a last name Moose. Have
Elk.
you?
Elk, you're fired.
No, it's always the fat guy at the construction site.
Moose, you're on.
Hey, I named Fester Moose before he was Fester.
It didn't stick.
It didn't stick.
No.
And then I came up with Fester.
All right,
That's
I got
like circa 1996.
Brilliant.
I got
Yeah.
a funnier name.
Yeah.
Fester.
I'm calling you Fester now. That's a true story.
Rotting meat.
All right, let me ask our listeners. Does anyone listening have any Irene Cara stories? Are any people listening that knew her? Are there people listening to the show that had any kind of an interaction, either once or daily? Or is anyone listening that knew Irene Cara, who lived right here in Largo and has passed away? 800-990-1047. All right, 800-990-1047. So if you could, fire up the phones. If anyone knew Irene Cara, Flashdance fame,
Is she married?
the whole thing. I don't know.
Did she die at her house?
Yeah, well, apparently so. Cara won both an Oscar and a Grammy for her song "What a Feeling" from Flashdance.
What I feel, keeps believing.
I mean, that's a hell of an achievement. You win a Grammy and an Oscar? That's incredible.
And then you moved to Largo?
It is with well, she also had a place like up in Newport Richie for a while. I mean, who knew that?
And live as a recluse.
But she couldn't find a place in Valrico?
All right, hang on. Let me read this. It is with profound sadness that on behalf of her family, I announce the passing of Irene Cara, or Cara, according to Moose. Her cause of death is currently unknown and will be released when information is available. That's what the publicist said. Moose also said that Cara's family is asking for privacy so that they can grieve. She was a beautiful and gifted soul whose legacy will live forever through her music and her films. Moose wrote, she said funeral services are pending and her memorial will be planned for her fans at a future date. Cara, whose real name was Irene Escalera, owned a home in Largo that she bought in 2014. The property had been homesteaded since the purchase, an indication it was her legal permanent residence. Kara also kept a Newport Richie address, and her music company, Caramel Productions, is based there. She didn't have a high profile in the area, having appeared just a couple of times in local news clips. One article mentions that she attended a performance at a Pasco Hernando Community College in 2003. And it included a picture taken with some of the students. Kara kept to herself in her Largo neighborhood. According to neighbor Jim Nolan, she was a recluse. She never talked to anyone, he said. In the years that I've lived here, I only saw her a few times. Yes, Andrew. Do we have a call? What do you want me to take? Which line am I taking? Are you on mute all of a sudden?
Yeah, I can't hear him.
I wasn't saying anything.
All right,
You have a call from
I know.
Donald, Irene's neighbor.
Are you serious? Oh, my.
oh, God.
Listen,
Come on,
no,
Froggy.
it's Froggy. I'm not taking Froggy. Oh, jeez.
Froggy. I mean, if she didn't live in the area, Froggy, it might be funny.
Yeah,
but-
yes, Froggy.
Wait, I don't know who Froggy is. This is Donald. I am Irene's neighbor. I live across from Jim, the man you just talked about.
Jim Nolan.
Yeah, he's a prick. But yes, I do know Irene. I've known her for years. She's a lovely, lovely lady. I used to go over there once a week and lay the pipe right to her.
Froggy.
And she would scream, "What a feeling! What a feeling,
Froggy,
Donald!"
Froggy, that is out of bounds, dude.
I would say,
That's a
"Listen,
tribute,
Irene,
actually.
Froggy, hang up the phone and get in here.
take it like a good girl." What a feeling!
That is all, Froggy.
I mean, she just scream it again and again.
Froggy, hang up the phone.
Hey, how do I get me?
Froggy, hang up the phone and get in here. That is get Froggy. That was uncalled for. That was out of bounds. The hell? Folks, I apologize. I had no idea. First of all, I thought it was a real call until Andrew said, "Yeah, take Donald on line one."
Yeah, I mean, Andrew kind of set it up like
Yeah, and then Andrew says in my ear,
What did I miss? I just went to the restroom.
"Yeah, sure you did." Andrew says in my ear, "It's Froggy."
Oh,
you know,
what?
I should not have taken that. What is wrong with you?
I was in the restroom. I missed it.
Will you stop it?
Cold.
That was terrible. Now I'm being told we have a real caller.
Oh.
Listen, I would like to talk to people that knew Irene Cara.
I mean,
We had no idea she lived here.
hundreds of people have had interactions with her. How many people saw her every couple of days or every couple of weeks?
All
I
right.
had no idea it was her.
If anyone knew Irene Cara, 800-990-1046. I am so offended by that phone call, Froggy.
I got to listen to what happened.
800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. If you live next to Irene Cara, hey, Nolan, yeah, call us up. The neighbor. All right, line 2. Hi, MJ here. Angela, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hi, good morning. So about 20 years ago or so,
You moved from Canada?
no. Did I sound Canadian? No.
Well, you said a boot.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Are you from Canada?
No, I'm a Tampa, Florida native.
Really? All right. Go.
Yeah,
I'm
all
sorry.
right,
Go ahead.
go.
But in Town and Country, there's a dance studio called Maricella's, or there used to be, and I guess Maricela was friends with her because at the end of one of their dance recitals, like I said, about 20 years ago, she sang at the end of the dance recital, and my girlfriend, whose daughter was in the recital, we were joking, we're like, okay, who's going to be here, the Flashdance singer? And sure enough, at the end of it, they're like, special guest, Irene Cara.
Are you serious?
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yes,
When was this? How long ago?
oh, gosh, I've been, let's see, we're 2021, so maybe 23, 24 years ago. It was
Wow.
1998, 99.
I guess you did say 20 years ago. All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing. All right. Hey, thanks for.
Yeah, she seemed really nice. She was nice to the girls, you know.
Wow.
She was very friendly with the dance studio owner. So,
Wow, Angela, thanks for the story. Hey, Angela, were you offended by Froggy's prank call?
I didn't hear it. I had gone in to get my daughter. We're going to school.
All right,
that's good.
all right,
You're
all right.
lucky.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, I'm not easily offended. A long-time listener, so not easily offended.
Well, I got a story. I got an email from an offended listener. I got to read this to you guys next as we shift gears.
Calm down.
Yeah, you know what? I did. You know what? I got to share this, folks. I got an email from an offended listener, and I wrote them back, and I said, hey, first, calm down. And then I said, hey, send me your phone number. Let's discuss this. And they never responded back. Hey, Angela, turn up your radio. You can hear the story.
All right, talk to you guys later.
Hey, thank you, Angela. Thanks for calling in. Thanks for listening. All right. Also coming up, did you guys see what we saw on the way to Thanksgiving dinner on Thursday? Did you see the picture? Oh, my.
I saw so many weird pictures on your Instagram. Which one are you referring to?
Hang on. Well,
one especially weird.
Hold on, Froggy. I'll let you go over my Instagram and talk about all the weird photos up there. First of all, though, where's my damn phone? I got to read this email. Do you remember last week we were talking about food, and you remember a woman that was in the Air Force or Army at MacDill? She called up because she said that she gave her kid frozen pizzas every day. Remember, we were doing a segment
About
that doctors say that you shouldn't eat a lot of frozen pizza, that all of the ingredients, everything in frozen pizza, it's just not good for you. I had a story last week about how, like, if you eat too many frozen pizzas, it could, like, give you heart problems. Or what was the story? You remember?
It was that, hey, it's very unhealthy for you. It was sham science, but they say stay away from frozen pizzas, all the preservatives and the meats and the cheese and the fat level, and that generally speaking, frozen pizzas are not good for you at all. And then we had somebody call in. She worked at the base. I think she might have even resided on the base, and she said her kid eats the Totino's pizzas every day.
Those are good.
And we kind of chuckled it off, and we talked about it, and that's where we left it.
All right. So, you remember the caller was on, and I kind of said, stop feeding your... She called up and said that she fed her kids frozen pizza every day.
Right.
And you remember I said something like, you got to stop that.
Yeah, it was kind of offensive.
What was offensive?
The way you sort of judged her for doing that.
Oh, great. So now you're siding with the angry listener. I'm about to read the email.
Is that the
really?
gripe?
If that's the gripe, I'm with her.
So Misty writes in, how dare you chastise a woman for feeding her daughter frozen pizzas? Not everyone can afford to buy fancy food like you do. Ooh. And don't you drink 2 bottles of wine every day, you drunk wino? What the hell are they? What the hell is this woman? Oh, it gets better. Hang on a minute. So, and don't you drink 2 bottles of wine every day, you drunk wino? No.
That would be a lot.
Michelle and I might have 2 bottles a week, meaning I don't drink, first of all, during the weekday. We might open up a bottle on a Friday night and open up a bottle on a Saturday night, and that would be 2 glasses of wine each. So I'm not drinking 2 bottles of wine every day. I'm not a drunk wino. And then she goes on, Misty is her name. And then she goes on to say, another thing, you need to stop harassing Roxanne about Derek Jeter.
Oh.
She doesn't want to exploit their friendship for your entertainment, you skunk.
I mean, I've been saying that for a while now as well.
Why would he buy their plane tickets? By the way, I'm not going to mention that. They aren't his children. They are grown adults with jobs.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Kind of self-sufficient.
Anyway, this lady's
I don't know.
she's calling me a drunk wino.
And a
she's
skunk.
calling me a skunk. So I wrote back to Misty, and it gets better. Hang on a minute. I wrote back to Misty, and I said, Misty, calm down. I think you have a lot wrong here. Send me your phone number, and we can discuss this off the air.
Misty.
MJ.
Off the air.
So Misty never emailed me back.
Oh.
Now, I took a look at her email address where this came from.
Oh, no.
The email address is mistybigbboobs@blank.com.
Oh, I think we know her, Fast.
Her email address is mistybigbboobs.
Is that the one we follow on?
I don't follow
Instagram,
Misty
bro?
Big Boobs.
All right, Misty Big Boobs.
Now, in the email, it has what appears to be her actual real last name. I'm going to hold that back. I'm not going to be that mean. But Misty Big Boobs, can I explain something? And this is what I was going to explain to her on the phone. If you recall, when we were talking about frozen pizzas being bad for you, according to this little story we had last week, and we had this woman call up. I think she was an enlisted Army woman, right? Stationed at MacDill.
Right.
Do you remember what she said? She said she fed her child frozen pizzas every day.
I think it was more along the lines of her kid makes it for themselves every day. It's not like she's jamming it like a conveyor belt of Totino pizzas.
I don't remember, but did she even say Totino's? I think she might have even used the brand name. And I said, listen, that's not really a balanced nutritional day of food consumption. And I said, you probably don't want your kid eating, I'm paraphrasing, but it's along these lines. And this is what I guess torqued Misty off, Misty Big Boobs. And I said on the air, and I said it to the caller, I said, you probably don't want to feed your kid frozen pizzas every day. You probably need some healthier options. And do you remember the woman said to me, this is the Army enlisted woman stationed at MacDill, she said something to the effect, you know what, you've opened my eyes. Didn't she say something that she said, I think those are the exact words, something like, MJ, thank you, you've opened my eyes. I guess she wasn't thinking about it from a nutritional standpoint, that maybe it's not a good idea for her kid to be eating frozen supermarket pizzas every single day. And she thanked me. She said, you've opened my eyes. I think that was a positive conclusion. So, Misty Big Boobs, why are you all over my butt here? You know, MJ Big Butt. Why are you all... I like big butts and I cannot lie. All right. So I mean, she writes me, how dare you chastise a woman for feeding her daughter frozen pizzas? So Misty Big Boobs, did you not hear the woman on the air said, thank you, MJ, for opening my eyes? You know, it's amazing how people just selectively hear things.
What's that now?
All right, you wise ass.
Are we?
So, Misty Big Boobs did not write me back. Hey, Misty Big Boobs, if you're listening, unless she's like, she's done with me. Maybe she's not listening anymore. Hey, Misty Big Boobs, are you listening right now?
Oh, no.
All right, Misty Big Boobs, do me a favor. Fire up my phone. Misty Big Boobs, if you're listening, 800-990-1047.
Come on, Missy, give it to him.
800-990-1047.
Both of them.
Come on, Misty Big Boobs, call us up. I want to talk to you. Let's have an adult conversation about why you're so pissed off. I mean, you call me a skunk and a drunk wino? Come on, Misty Big Boobs. 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047 is how you get in. All right, Andrew, watch the phone, screen the calls. Let me know if Misty Big Boobs actually calls him. And then we have my Instagram feed.
From this weekend?
Yeah, Froggy, what are the Instagram pictures on my account that you were referring to? You said I had a lot of weird pictures.
Well, you were at
Would
it
you-
looked like a graveyard you were at. Standing above a cemetery gravestone. It was creepy as hell.
I'm
What are you doing?
I'm in a great. This was yesterday. This was last night about 5:30.
Very odd.
Come on, kids, let's go to a graveyard.
Well,
Probably, I mean, very offensive to who you were standing on.
why is that offensive?
You're standing on a person.
Is it-
You're not supposed to stand directly behind or in front of.
I'm standing behind. I'm not standing on top of them.
That's where the head is.
No,
No.
I'm standing behind the headstone. I'm not standing.
Why do you think it's called the headstone?
Because the
I'm standing behind it, dude. I'm not standing.
That's where their head is, a little behind
Hold on
it.
a second. Why are you wearing why do you have an umbrella?
Because it was raining.
Oh.
It was drizzling and raining. It's 5:45 yesterday.
Okay.
Does the Undertaker have a problem with this?
So we were at, the cemetery, the old West Tampa Cemetery.
Yeah.
That's on Columbus and MacDill.
Yes.
Is it the Martino? What is it? It's what's the name of the cemetery? Is it Martino Cemetery?
Okay. I don't know that we need the proper name of the cemetery.
I'm giving you just the location. It's I'm trying to think. It's the old cemetery right there on MacDill and on Columbus. Julian goes back to school today, and he's doing a film course, and he had to shoot something for his film course, and the scene needed a cemetery, and we needed to place flowers on top of a tombstone.
So you picked a random tombstone to
Yeah.
just drop flowers on?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And if you look at the photo, some people actually commented that it's a well-known Tampa family that we chose. I guess I can zoom in. It looks like it's the. It looks like the cemetery is the Martin Colon Cemetery. Thank you, Andrew. That's the name of the I'm sorry, Marti Colon Cemetery is where we were, and we were at the tombstone of Granda, Granda. So it was a nice tombstone. That's why we chose it, and I placed flowers on top of the tombstone, because Julian needed an image for this film class. So that's why I was in the cemetery yesterday. Folks, you never know what's going to pop up on my Instagram feed. That's why I highly encourage you to give me a follow on Instagram. My personal Instagram is Certified MJ Radio. So give me a follow. Check out and I'm going to get into some weird pictures here, including the thing we saw on the way to Thanksgiving dinner on Thursday. And that's why I really am talking about my Instagram here. All right, so give me a follow on my Insta. It is Certified MJ Radio. And also, you want to give our official morning show Instagram account a follow as well, and that's MJ Morning Show. So follow Certified MJ Radio and follow MJ Morning Show on Instagram. So, yeah, the cemetery shot. Let's see what else is on there. I took Chris Pont, the famous local chef, Chris Pont.
Yes.
He's opening up his new restaurant at Tampa Midtown.
Oh, I saw you with him.
Yeah, so I took a picture with him in the kitchen. We were invited. They had their soft opening over the weekend, their friends and family.
The who's who was there.
I was about to say, my invitation was it got lost in the mail next to Froggy's.
I want to thank Chris Pott and the folks for inviting me. Place is fantastic.
Yeah, thanks for inviting MJ, Chris.
Thanks, Chris.
All right, Froggy and Fester are insulted. All right, let me tell you right now, the food was incredible. The new restaurant's called Ponte, Ponte, Modern American, and the food was phenomenal. The space, it is a gorgeous build out. The space is just an all new upscale experience here in Tampa Bay. Awesome. It's right behind Whole Foods.
Oh,
it's right in Midtown. That whole new thing. Anyway, so we have the picture of him and I. Or him and me, I think him and me would be accurate there. And then if you scroll down, you'll see a woman on like a motorized bicycle. And this is what I really want. Have you seen this? Have you seen this?
I've seen it.
This is great.
Is that
the right word? Great.
Folks, you got to see this. We are driving to Thanksgiving dinner. Remember, we went to Burns Steakhouse for Thanksgiving because Chloe's overseas at school. And Julian said, you know what, let's just go out to dinner. And Julian said, hey, I haven't been to Burns in like 5 years. Any chance we can go to Burns? So I said, yeah, let me get a res. So we got a res at Burns. We had Thanksgiving dinner at Burns. We went at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We went for kind of like a Thanksgiving late lunch, early dinner. And it was great. On the way to Burns, I like to make a right turn on MacDill, and I like to cut through the neighborhood. I like to cut through on Watros and then go right to South Howard, and it dumps you out right at Burns. So that's the way I like to go.
Okay.
So we're on Watros, and suddenly, I'm driving the car. Julian's in the front seat. Michelle's in the back. I'm driving Miss Michelle. And and they say, oh, my God, look at that. And I didn't see it at first. And I'm like, what? Dad, look in front of us. There was a woman on a motorized bicycle with a dress on.
I'm not mad at any of this photo, by the way.
The whole back of the dress is being lifted up by the updraft of the wind behind her, and she's got just a thong. I've got 2 cheeks and a thong. I mean, we need to play
That sounds like a song.
We need to play the thong song here.
I love Cisco.
That's right. Cisco did the thong song. I'm like, oh, my God. So Julian starts snapping pictures with his iPhone.
Julian?
Yeah, Julian took this picture. Folks, you got to see this. All right, now, Andrew, you also put this up at mjmorningshow.com, right?
Yes.
All right. So it's a big story. It's not like in stories we mentioned. All right. It's a regular story, right? All right. If you go, so you can see this in multiple ways. Go to my Instagram. My IG is Certified MJ Radio. And I think it's like the fifth or sixth thing down now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, eighth thing down.
Check out this derriere.
All right, you got to see this. This woman on Thanksgiving Day, was she doing this intentionally? Was she just oblivious that the back? Could she not feel the wind on her bare butt?
Yes, she felt it, and it was fantastic.
She's got a butt floss going on. The skirt is lifting up, and we're just staring at ass on the way to Thanksgiving dinner.
Was she good looking?
We only saw the back.
All right, so from the angle that I see, everything looks great.
Those look like Victoria's Secret.
All right, you've got to see the image. This is crazy.
Pretty sure she doesn't mind doing this.
Julian took the picture, and if anyone knows who this is, if you recognize the woman,
I mean,
Yeah.
no,
Well, I
helmet,
mean,
no helmet. Is
You would
dangerous.
have to recognize the butt.
yeah.
Or the bike, or the
That's the
hair, or
No,
the.
you can
the
see her full
identifiable
body.
part.
The shot is from the street all the way to the top of her head, and you can see down the street, right? But the way the dress is lifted up, it is perfect. It's almost like it's staged, but it's not, I swear. This is an untouched actual photo that Julian took through the windshield of our SUV as we were driving to Burns.
Boy, this poor bike rider doesn't know she's going to be passed around the boarding school.
I-
Hey, guys, look at this.
Folks, you got to see this. You got to see the image. Go to my Instagram, Certified MJ Radio, or it's on our website, mjmorningshow.com. That's mjmorningshow.com. And it is one of the items on current events or whatever it is. Just you'll see. Andrew, what does the headline say? How does it read? What is the headline?
Thongsgiving sight on MJ's way to dinner.
Oh, that's right. So on my
Thongsgiving.
yeah, on my Instagram, I called it Thongsgiving, not Thanksgiving. I forget, that's the funniest thing about it. I forgot. Thongsgiving is what I called it because it's we got a thong. I'm thankful for the big thong we saw.
And thongs are the gifts that keep giving.
And we're like, oh my God, this is insane. Folks, if you see one image for the rest of the year, you got to see this. MJMorningshow.com. Look for the Thongsgiving headline, or you can just see it on my Instagram. And give me a follow, because you never know what the hell's going to turn up. Certified MJ Radio on IG. Certified MJ Radio. Was there anything else, Froggy, that caught your attention?
Those are the two main ones there.
Yeah, I think that's good for now. But that's some pretty crazy stuff. Pretty nutty stuff. All right, so back to Irene Cara for a minute. You have the audio from the American Idol scam that we pulled on American Idol back in, 2004,
2002, 2003?
somewhere in that
It
vicinity.
was season 2 of American Idol.
It was season. I thought it was season 3. Season 2.
Maybe it was season 3. I don't know.
I think it was
early-
season 2.
It was one. It was one of the early seasons of American Idol. We said, you know what? Let's get a couple of the MJ Morning Show interns and let's scam American Idol. Let's send them to one of the auditions. Was it? I think they went to Atlanta, right?
We went to Atlanta, and they had to go to Atlanta like 3 times. It took a long time
because
to perpetrate this whole thing.
they kept. So they went initially like in August, and then they got called back to subsequent auditions.
Mhm.
And this was all a plant. We had 2 interns. We had Kristen and we had Lamosa, and Kristen was gonna sing Irene Cara's What a Feeling.
Yeah, Flashdance.
Flashdance, What a Feeling. And we concocted this whole thing. She's an awful singer, and she's going to go audition. And if she makes it to the show, she's clearly going to get flagged and she's going to get ripped apart. And then we wanted her to start crying. And we engineered the whole scam to get on American Idol, and it worked.
Even Lamosa supporting her at the end.
Oh, absolutely.
Which was just,
All right,
The
so,
best.
oh, hell no.
with the news breaking that Irene Cara has passed away at the age of 63, rest in peace, and the fact that she lived right here in the Tampa Bay area in Largo, we had no idea. That just came out when we heard that she had passed over the weekend. So we talked about Irene Cara earlier today, and then we have this. Here's the audio of our American Idol scam.
Kristen Powell wanted fame, and she wanted it bad.
Hi.
Whoa!
Well, I am going to perform. You are ready, huh?
Oh.
Yes, I'm very ready.
You just stripped off
Now,
your
why
pants.
Okay, Why did you just strip off your sweats there?
I'm going to do a song from Flashdance.
Well, makes sense then.
Makes sense.
You got the leg warmers on? You ready to go?
I am ready to go, and I lost 80 pounds, and I'm ready to.
So look, Simon's already pissed off. You see him?
The 80-pound thing was brilliant because she gets their sympathy immediately.
Yeah, exactly.
You can start whenever you're ready.
All right.
That's Paula Abdul.
What a feeling. Feels believing. I can't have it all now. I'm dancing for my life. Take your passion. Make it happen. Pictures come alive. Now you can dance right through your life.
Oh, God.
That was not serious. Look me in the eye and tell me that was serious.
I swear to you that is serious.
Swear on your life.
I swear on my life, and I never swear on my life.
That was serious.
Honest to goodness.
God, I wish you hadn't said that. Wow.
Is it that bad?
Oh, God.
Terrible. Horrible.
Sorry. I realize that maybe I'm not that perfect person. But you look at some people that are out there and you put synthesizers in and drown them out with music and you pay them a ton. Take me, put synthesizers in me, give me a choreographer.
No.
Give me a trainer.
Doesn't
I
matter
will be
what
out
we
there.
put with you. It's not going to work.
That's ridiculous. I mean, I can't. I'm sorry.
You ain't got it.
It's all right. This just
I mean, I
isn't-
lost 80 pounds to get here.
That is great. That's great.
No,
Don't
this is the
cry.
worst mistake. I love you, Paul. And
Aw.
you guys
It's
love
emotional.
me, but this is honestly probably one of the biggest mistakes.
What?
I didn't make it. They are out of their minds. They are out of their minds. You better believe that someday I'm gonna make somebody a lot of money, including myself. Biggest mistake ever.
Well, not happy.
I forgot how
Remember the
great that is.
remake we did?
Oh my
So,
did a great
so
job
we
of
put it
that.
on our website. We streamed it everywhere.
couldn't-
And Fox sent the most scathing letter ever. The
We got a cease and desist.
Yes.
Get that off your website. You don't have any permission
The
for
remake
that.
is on YouTube and it is horrid.
So somewhere
They made us take it off, so we did a reenactment. And I played Simon Cowell, Fester's Paula Abdul.
I was Ryan Seacrest.
and we had an engineer, Dana, who could have been a stunt double
For Randy
Right.
Jackson. Only about 50 pounds
The
heavier.
acting was great.
Oh, my God. So, listen, Irene Cara, rest in peace. Can't believe she's dead at 63. I can't believe she lived in Largo. And can't believe we just dug up the old American Idol clip.
She could have changed that. I'm gonna live in Largo. Then I'm gonna.
There you
There's
go.
something there.
Gonna live in Largo.
Awful.
Anyway, so Irene Cara, rest in peace. And we don't know how she died yet. We don't know what
No.
happened. So,
That still has not been released.
well, the publicist says that at some point they'll release exactly what happened to Irene Cara. Wow.
Rest in peace. It just missed the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, too.
Did she really?
Yeah, it was on Saturday, and they did the whole list of everybody who died.
Okay. That. I thought you meant she missed getting into the Hall of Fame. Now, she's a big deal, MJ, because when her song from Flashdance was nominated for an Oscar, wasn't it like the first movie where there was more than one song from the movie nominated for,
Yes.
for an award?
I don't know.
Who are you, Dick Clark?
Yeah,
Who the hell
exactly.
knows?
I think I
What are you,
heard
That is true.
Casey Kasem over here?
Ryan Seacrest.
Oh, Roxanne's saying
told
it's
me.
true. How
I
do
heard
you
the
know
same
it's
thing
true?
Because he and I are listening to the same sort of fun facts.
We're big Irene Cara deep dive fans.
All right, guys, let me ask you a question.
Sure.
I thought this was a joke. I thought this was a parody. Did you know that Cheetos had a grinding duster machine that they
Yeah.
sold?
Mhm.
And that they only had a limited quantity and they sold out?
Oh, what? You grind up your Cheetos?
Cheetos, you know those magic bullet devices, like those little small, like...
Wait, that's a
well,
sex toy, isn't it?
No, a magic bullet is a shake maker.
What are
It's
you
like a
talking
smoothie
about?
maker.
Hold on.
It's a little smoothie maker.
All right.
The Magic Bullet? Are you sure?
Yes, look up Magic Bullet. It's a smoothie maker. It's not a
Okay.
sex toy.
Sorry.
All right. So the
The magic Bullet. What,
it's like a blender.
what is going on in your house,
It's
Froggy?
like a blender that makes like a 12 ounce or 16 ounce smoothie.
It's like a
Froggy.
small little blender. It's called the Magic Bullet. So there's a device that looks like that Cheetos was selling, and it was a grind. You put Cheetos in it, and it grinds your Cheetos to like dust. So you get the Cheetos dust.
The Cheetle.
Exactly. So I thought this was a joke.
Tired of the same old recipes? Do you wish your boring food could become better food with Cheetos? Introducing the Cheetos Duster. It turns Cheetos into the perfect ingredient for all your recipes.
Whoa! Cheelicious!
It's so easy to use. Just fill, blend, and dust. Put Cheetle on pizza, wings, hot dogs. Put it on poutine. Don't forget donuts. Yummy.
Even on my layered sardine loaf?
All right, so this thing goes on for another minute. I thought this was a parody. I thought this was a joke. It wasn't. Cheetos was really selling a Cheetos Magic Bullet-like duster, and they sold it through Amazon, and it's sold out now. And now they were $19.99, and now they're going for like $100 on eBay. People are selling them for 5 times the price.
That's pretty awesome.
Can't you just crush up Cheetos yourself?
Yeah, exactly. The website was CheetosDuster.com.
You know what I'll add to that list?
What?
Sushi.
Oh.
Well, remember and again, I was about to bring that up. Thank you for beating me to the punch. But if you remember, was it like last week or 2 weeks ago, I had a picture that a friend sent me from a giant supermarket outside of D.C., and all these supermarkets have the sushi that's made in-house these days next to the deli department. They all have a little sushi stand.
That's the best stuff.
Right. I'm not really a fan of supermarket sushi, but it's a whole different story.
Gas station
But
sushi.
hold on a minute. The Giant up in Virginia, they had a sign outside, one of those little stand-up A-frame signs, big plastic sign, and they were advertising a sushi roll at the sushi place inside the supermarket that was rolled in Cheetos dust. It was a Cheetos, Flamin' Cheetos
Yeah, it was the hot
sushi
one.
roll. I'm like, what the? It's grotesque. It's disgusting. And then here comes this Cheetos duster thing. I had no idea this was a thing, and now it's sold out. So if you go to the website, CheetosDuster.com, if you go to that website, it went to an Amazon page. It still goes there. And then it says, sold out. Get notified if there are future Cheetos Duster drops. So totally sold. I'll hold it up to the camera. You can see this on MJTV.
Of course, it's a novelty item.
That's the duster right there.
I want one.
You know, hey, Andrew, are we ever going to get the system where we're able to put a web page up on our video feed?
No. You'd have to ask the people in charge.
I've been asking for 2 years.
Yeah, Andrew's not the person.
I've been asking for 2 years.
Andrew's not the person to ask for much outside of the realm of what he normally does.
Yeah, because we want to be able to talk about something. Then Andrew can have the website and then put it up on MJTV so we can see a nice color web page instead of a black and white printout from an HP LaserJet.
Yeah,
that I'm holding up to the camera right now.
All those podcasters we were talking about that broadcast, they're able to do it on Twitch.
Yeah, exactly.
Why can't we?
Anyway, the Cheetos Duster helps make the puff snack the perfect ingredient. So this is a story from some website. The first ever appliance from the Frito-Lay snack name was created in partnership with Amazon and is a mini automated grinder for Cheetos. Simply fill the jar with Cheetos, screw it into the base, hit the blend button. The dust created can be sprinkled on top of just about any food. Oh, hey, kids, would you like some orange Cheetos dust sprinkled on your waffles and pancakes?
I mean, listen, you could put it on almost anything. I know you're trying to make jokes making waffles and pancakes savory, but it goes on. Anything you can put salt on, you can put this on.
I agree.
Yeah.
Makes it.
What, a corn puff that has some orange flavoring on it, and that's what, the new hottest seasoning?
A steak?
Yes.
Tell you what, screw Tony Chachere's. Get some Cheetos dust.
If they just sold Cheetos dust, they'd sell it. They'd sell it fly off the shelves. Just
a bag of Cheetos dust?
Put it in
so why the hell aren't
breadcrumbs.
why aren't they selling that then?
They're getting to that point. Forget like
Or
Lowry
a jar?
Like take out the Lowry seasoning
Oh,
jar.
you're gonna tell me if you're having a backyard cookout, you don't get the Lowry seasoned salt, you get the Cheetos dust and you sprinkle it on your steaks?
It would go on everything.
Oh, come
All
on.
we need is a compressor. and let's just buy Cheetos, crush them, resell them.
All we need is a magic bullet.
I got
the
grinders. I've got plenty of grinders.
I had no idea whatsoever that this was real. A Cheetos duster device, which is sold out, and now people are selling them on eBay for 5 times the money. We got to talk about the Bucks again. First, did anyone see 60 Minutes last night after the late CBS game?
So no. I saw the tease for it.
Oh, go to 60 Minutes and bring up the story. There's like a cemetery underneath the Frank Crumb Company off of Missouri in Clearwater. So people right now are parking their cars over dead bodies.
Oh.
They do the whole. I'm watching this thing. I'm like, oh my God, what the? And this was weird because we just earlier last night, Julian and Michelle and I were at the Marti Colon Cemetery at Columbus and MacDill to shoot a video scene for one of Julian's projects. And I explained to Michelle and Julian, hey, this cemetery has kind of a rocky history because, and Ted Webb told me this years ago. Remember the late, great Ted Webb? And Ted took me to that cemetery back in the mid-'90s. And Ted pointed out that, you see Columbus over there, man? He said they dug up bodies to build the road, or they built the road right over bodies.
Sure.
True. So
Ted would know.
Columbus, they built the road right over bodies. And then right across Columbus, there's a little strip center right across from the cemetery. Apparently, the whole parking lot in there and the buildings are built on top of graves as well. And then, so we were at the cemetery yesterday just shooting video for a school project for one of Julian's film classes. And then we get home, we're watching the end of the late football on CBS. And I'm like, what the? A story comes on 60 Minutes. And listen.
When a cemetery disappears, what is lost?
History. A cemetery is supposed to be your final resting place.
Honorable place.
Final.
In Clearwater, Florida, they're debating how to honor the dead, now entombed beneath a school, Missouri Avenue, and an office complex.
The office complex is the Frank Crumb Company.
Oh, my God.
And they do like HR stuff and like workers' comp stuff.
They got to be haunted.
You know, I've got the photo. We ought to call them up and like, it's. What if it turns into poltergeist over there?
I think they would know already. You know,
there's no way it's not haunted. All 3 places.
And they did a zoning thing on this, and nothing came up.
The Frank Crumb Company.
I don't think it's Frank's fault.
No, it's not Frank's fault. It's not Frank's fault at all. This is a crummy situation over at the Frank Crumb Company.
His name's a bad omen.
A family business based on integrity. The origin of Frank Crumb dates back to 1981. Frank W. Crumb. So they founded the Great American Temporary Service. Anyway, I'm looking at, they do payroll processing and tax filing, workers' comp insurance, HR consulting services.
They also have a bakery edition where they make a fantastic crumb cake.
HR information. They do My Frank Crumb.
Yeah.
And it turns out that their whole parking lot's a graveyard. So people that are they did a couple of women that have some kind of ground sonar company. They ran ground sonar and they showed like an aerial shot, and there were red like rectangles of all the grave sites that they thought. So they took the overview shot of the parking lot and then also Missouri Avenue, and there are like 300 graves in the parking lot. So people on Missouri Avenue, right by the Frank Crumb building, you're driving over bodies right now.
All right.
If you're on Missouri. And if you're parked in the Frank Crumb parking lot, you're parked on bodies.
What years?
And then even under the building, they think there are graves under the building as well.
Sure. What years was this an active cemetery?
This goes back to apparently like the 10s, 20s, 30s.
Oh.
All right.
Is what I was able to glean from this.
I mean, I know that there was a story in Tampa. Was it King High School?
Well, but in Clearwater, for instance, there's not only the Frank Crumb Company, it's Missouri Avenue, and then there's a school which they did not name. There's a school that they had abandoned like a couple of decades ago, and they started digging at the school, and they were only digging like 3 feet deep, and they're finding skulls and teeth. I saw somebody's front teeth with gold teeth on the side, and they're like dusting it. It's unbelievable.
Okay, that's creepy.
Yeah.
Yes, but it's unbelievable that, and the issue is that it was primarily a black cemetery. And they were talking about segregation and how cemeteries were segregated. Listen, it doesn't matter whether it's black or white. It's any human being. Your final resting place should not be desecrated. Your final resting place ought to be treated with dignity for eternity. And this is just one of these. Here's the intro. Roll this back just a little bit.
It's right there.
Here's the intro. All right, listen to this. All right, so here's the. It's not gonna. Here, listen.
There you go.
No one can say when human remains began surfacing in Clearwater, Florida. There was the pipeline crew that churned up bones in a trench. Later, remains of the dead were found at an elementary school, a swimming pool, and an office building. It seemed like a curse for what had been done in the name of progress and greed in the old segregated South. The truth of what happened in the 40s and 50s was meant to stay buried. But in a neighborhood called Clearwater Heights, residents with long memories recognized a grave injustice.
So I'm not going to play the whole story.
Wow.
It's a 14-minute story. But again, they said 40s and 50s. I'm thinking that's when things were built on top of or buried over.
So it was active for 50 years before that.
The cemetery, I think, goes before that. It's just terrible. It's an awful story. And then if you're in Clearwater and you're on Missouri and you pass that Frank Crum building,
You're driving over graves.
Hundreds of bodies are below their building and parking lot. That is crazy. And Frank Crum didn't do anything wrong. They didn't know. So now they got to figure out what's going to happen here. Some people want the building demolished and they move Frank Crum somewhere else.
Dig them up.
Yeah.
Any way you slice it, this is a crummy situation. But that was on 60 Minutes last night. Oh, my God.
There's got to be some tribute, some marker, something to recognize us.
But
I don't
again,
know
the Marti Cologne Cemetery in Tampa at Columbus and MacDill, same deal. There were lost graves all over there as well that were built on top of, or they built Columbus on top of graves. So, again, Ted Webb told me that story years ago. And there was an investigation. I think WFLA Radio did an investigation years ago on that.
That sucks.
So, a crazy, crazy story.
Hey, good morning to everybody over at the Frank Crum building. Thank you for listening.
You know what that is? That's a crummy situation.
Yeah, I said that joke twice.
Oh.
If you get off your phone and pay attention to the damn show, you'd hear me.
I heard you, jackass. I'm making fun of you for saying it twice.
Yeah, we could get a quack quack with that now.
What kind of situation
I'm
is
not
this?
doing a quack with a cemetery story here.
What kind of a situation is this?
All right. So, hey, Tampa Bay area all over 60 Minutes. And then Irene Cara dies in Largo. I mean, Pinellas County. I mean, how can Pinellas County be a hotter spot than right now with everything going on?
Jeez. Got to be haunted.
Rough weekend for Pinellas County.
I'm telling you.
Let's go ghost hunting there.
Some crazy stuff. Hey, speaking of kind of morbid stuff, today's the day that Jeffrey Dahmer was taken out. Did you know that?
I did not know that it was so close to Thanksgiving.
Yeah, bring up Jeffrey. Go to Wikipedia.
All right.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure today is, and the reason why I'm bringing it up is the whole Netflix deal. The whole Jeffrey Dahmer story has ignited interest. A whole new generation is now like up to my daughter, my son Julian. They would have no idea about Jeffrey Dahmer, but they've both watched the Netflix series.
So I go to Netflix.
Chloe watched the whole Dahmer series before Michelle and I got to it.
I go to Netflix. They have a little search box. I type in the word Jeff, and Jeffrey Dahmer pops up before Jeff Bezos.
Dude, all Netflix does is glorify murder.
Yeah.
Like, it's getting a little crazy.
It's a bit much. I mean, there's a lot of murder stuff on Netflix.
Instead of Netflix, they had to do a spinoff and call it like Murdflix.
I mean,
it's
Net
nothing.
hack.
It's nothing but glorifying like
Snufflix.
straight up killers.
I was on Netflix this weekend just looking for something. It's like, I'm a serial killer. Interview with Ted Bundy. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, so much death. Okay.
I pull out fingernails with pliers.
I'll watch that.
I make lampshades out of human skin.
Dude, they will make that an 8-part
Ba-bum.
series. I'm only up to episode 6 if I make lampshades with skin.
But have you seen the fingernail pull-out show?
It's in my queue. Yeah.
If you go to any serial killer documentary, it'll most are recommended, and it's like 100 other ones.
Jeez.
It's insane.
Anyway, look, we're on Wikipedia now. Jeffrey Dahmer, he was taken out in prison on this date in 1994. November 28th. This is the anniversary of Jeffrey Dahmer's death.
All right.
So
hey,
Creepy.
Hey, I just thought I'd point it out, guys.
hey, good job to that guy. I mean, whoever he was.
well, he's been interviewed.
No, the guy who killed him.
He's been interviewed.
Whatever his name is, I don't know. Off the top of my
Is he
head.
still the guy that killed Dahmer? Is he still alive?
Yeah, his name's Skitch.
Stop it. All right, Roxanne.
Yes, MJ.
Would you like to sound more confident?
No.
Okay.
I'm good.
I think she
Thanks.
sounds pretty confident.
Listen, this is just rhetorical. I'm not.
I realize that.
This is rhetorical. This is not anything that I'm zeroing in on you for. This is something we all do. Would you like to sound more confident? Well, experts are saying you need to ditch these phrases. If you use these verbal, I guess, crutches, if you use these words, get rid of them because they can make you seem insecure. Some are making people seem arrogant. But if you want to sound more confident, these phrases you ought to just exercise, like, The Exorcist, not exercise like get on the Peloton or something.
Wait, some you said make you sound arrogant. So we're eliminating like the outliers of insecure comments and arrogant comments so you can just be confident. Is that what you're saying?
The headline is, if you want to sound more confident, ditch these 10 phrases that make you look insecure and arrogant according to word experts.
Okay.
All right? You ready for the first one?
Yes.
Get rid of this. I don't mean to brag, but...
I don't ever say that. I just brag without the qualifier.
Yeah, I mean, I don't need to tell you I'm going to brag.
All right, what's the last thing you bragged about?
Who I interviewed. I mean, it's not really a brag thing, but you guys act like it's a bragging thing. It's just,
Well, I mean, we're only calling the pot. Never mind.
So remove that phrase. I don't mean to brag, but...
I don't mean to brag.
Take that out of your repertoire. All right, number 2.
That's kind of schmucky to say, though, in a lot of contexts.
MJ says it.
I already knew that. Don't use that in communication. If you're talking to somebody and they say something, don't say, I already knew that.
I always act like it's new information.
Or the other one is, a variation of that is, or doesn't everyone know that?
I'd be like, the Titanic sank? What?
I already knew that.
What if you say something like, yeah, I read that. Is that the same as say, like, should you just, like Froggy does, just play dumb?
I think it's just
New
a variation.
information.
Nope, I think it's a variation. I think that would be the same thing. I already knew that, or doesn't everyone know that? Or, I read that. I would think that it's pretty similar.
So far, both of these things sound like they're pretty confident. I already knew that.
Number 3.
I don't mean to brag, but...
Number 3 is, I'm pretty sure that that's kind of like gaslighting a bit, or it's, what is the word?
Passive aggressive.
Yeah, what's I'm pretty sure that, I think passive aggressive is probably
without
good.
saying somebody's wrong, you drop the, I'm pretty sure that's not the case.
Yeah, that's a nicer way of saying, no, you're dead wrong. I say I'm pretty sure when I'm 100% sure and I know the person is dead wrong. And I'm pretty sure is a nice way to say you're wrong.
Oh my God, she does it to us all the time.
I'm pretty sure.
You know what? You say that to us a lot.
I do.
You know what? That is one of your crutches right there.
Well, let me change that phrase to, you're bleeping wrong.
She's playing us like a polite fiddle.
Number 4, eliminate this. No offense, but.
I think I use all these.
That's
and I feel
you.
fine.
That's you, Buster.
No offense, but y'all are a bunch of schmucks.
No offense, but.
Whenever there's a but, it's usually.
This immediately sets up an adversarial conversation. You're overtly indicating that you're about to say something that could and probably will offend somebody. So, no offense, but take that one out. Next, overusing I or me. See, this always bothered me. There seemed to be a phase back in like the late 80s, early 90s where everyone was trying to point out, I, or you wrote something and it's all I this, I that. Well, there are not ways to sometimes say something if you're talking about yourself in first person and something you did. What are you supposed to just drop all the I's?
Yeah, and if you say we, then people start to think you have multiple personalities.
She knows
weird.
that firsthand.
Yes.
So stop overusing I or me. When people hear a lot of I's and me's, there's a strong chance they might think of you as self-centered or narcissistic. Research shows that people feel more positive about other people who use inclusive words like we and our team. If you did something yourself, there's not a we or an our team.
Well, our team got out of bed this morning at about 4:30 this morning. Took a quick shower. And
Our whole team was in the shower.
Yes.
No, but there was this time, I'm telling you, it got really sensitive in the late 80s, early 90s, mid 90s, where everyone was focusing in on I, too many I's, I, and it was driving me nuts.
It was like on resumes or something. You know, you don't want to refer to yourself as I too many times. And
What else was? I'm just kidding. If you say something that maybe somebody is offended by, or you say something and suddenly there's like a recoil, and then you kind of hit them with, I'm just joking.
Is that the same as no offense?
No, I think that no offense is there. No offense, but is different than, I'm just joking.
No offense is a warning. I'm just joking is backtracking.
This is a passive-aggressive way of indicating that you think you know better when you follow up a comment or criticism with a just kidding in an attempt to take the sting out of it. You're not fooling anyone. You're just insulting the other person.
Yeah, I never say that.
All right, the next item, number 7. This is a CNBC story, by the way. The next one, number 7. You probably don't know this, but ooh.
I've heard MJ say that one too.
I know I don't.
All right.
When you're talking about fancy steakhouses, you probably don't know this one.
That is not true.
I think I love every one of these phrases with the exception of the just kidding one.
That one's not that bad.
No.
You probably don't know this, but...
Oh, and what makes you so great for you to know it?
The phrase is practically guaranteed to irritate the listener. Again, you're being dismissive of the other person's knowledge or capabilities. If you want to share information, share it without obnoxious disclaimers.
Because it's the same thing as you're probably a big dum-dum, but...
All right, number 8. I'm surprised you're having problems with this. It's so easy.
I want to punch whoever says that. Who would say that?
I'm surprised you're having problems with this. It's so easy.
Actually, I'm surprised you're having problems with this.
I think that's
so easy.
I think that's just self-explanatory. I don't think I need to read a description. Number 9.
Billy down the hall had a stroke last week, and he does it just fine.
Oh, my gosh.
See? That's how it goes. That's how it escalates.
Number 9. You just don't get it.
Well, if you're in an argument with somebody, you're going to say that.
I don't have an issue with using that in the appropriate place and time. There are times where you need to tell somebody you just don't get it.
And these are things to take out if you want to sound more confident. These are all pretty aggressive.
How about that bit sucks? I've heard MJ say that one.
You just don't get it, Froggy.
All right, the last one, number 10. If I were you, I'd... Then ellipses.
I will say, if I'm talking to someone, I'll say, well, if I was in that position, I don't say if I were you.
That's still uppity.
So
if I were you, so Fester, you use all these? Is that it?
The only time I ever use the if I were you is when I followed up with something horrific. Like
Fester's the most blunt, disgusting person I've ever seen. He doesn't use any of these things. He'll just tell you to your face you're disgusting.
If I were you, I would start smoking right now and hope for lung cancer. I dig in with God. If I were you.
And then he's like, I don't lie, do I? I'm not a liar.
Hey, listen, I'll tell you right now. You call me you guys can call me out on all my lies because I don't lie.
This is the end of an hour and 20 minutes nonstop. Folks, remember. Yeah. Remember, we go for 1 hour, 20 minutes nonstop every morning at about 7:22, 7:23, and we ended right here at about 8:42, 8:43, somewhere in that vicinity. So remember, hour and 20. Now, I'm going to take a quick break here. I've only got like a 4-minute break here. This is a quick break. Morning drive, 4 minutes. That's quick, man. So we got a quick break here, and then we got another 30 minutes uninterrupted. When we get back, Roxanne, are you aware of what's going on? The attack, the assault on American weddings?
I had no idea.
There's an attack on American weddings. Hold on. That's just one of many things.
Not at Roxanne's house.
Oh, we got this. Yeah, we got this stupid Velveeta story. Did you see this? Should we even give this Velveeta story the time of day?
That's good stuff,
All
man.
right, hang on. We got a stupid Velveeta story we got to get to. Oh, how about the guy that fell off the cruise ship? But wait a minute. But then did you hear? Oh, Rock, where are you going? Why are you?
Roxanne walked out of the studio down the hallway. She hears you say cruise ship. She gasps and walks back.
Where are you running right now?
I got to make some phone calls.
What
yes, I
are
heard.
what are the papers in your hand?
Nothing. I just have to just relax.
You're not going to track your midday show, are you, right now?
I have stuff going on. Listen,
she does that live.
It's only a 4-minute break.
I got.
Just go. All right, we gotta go. We take a break.
All right, hold on. We got a long chunk. American Weddings Under Attack. I got the Coast Guard story. I got the Velveeta crap. We have a lot of stuff next. Don't move. We're back in minutes on the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. Oh, you know what I got to... are no interruptions, so just content, baby. Spread the word. The MJ Morning Show, the best bang for your entertainment buck. And that we're back. MJ Morning Show on Q105, 104.7 FM. All the podcast platforms. You can watch us on MJ TV Live. Just go to mjmorningshow.com. Click on MJ TV at the top of the page. Watch us live in studio. Fester, before I move on to the wedding thing, quickly, you were just talking about this off the air. The gas price situation there's a big disparity now. So you were telling me that you waited in a crazy line at Sam's Club because gas was $2.91 a gallon?
No, the line was crazy.
Right.
And I did a little hoodwink, scoot caboot around the other side, and there was an available
lane
pump. Like the car pulled out and nobody was behind him. I'm like, hell yeah.
Well, how'd you cheat the whole line then?
I went around the other side. All the lines are coming
Dude,
in.
that's the way you get shot.
Listen, nobody was there. I didn't cut anybody off. I came in the other side, and somebody pulled out of there.
All right.
There, you know, I saw for the first time in a long time at the Sam's Club, people.
Oh, I thought you were going to say your feet.
No, I
because you're big gut.
I see my. Listen,
All right, go ahead.
of all the things I have problems seeing, my
go
feet's
ahead.
not the answer.
All right.
Listen, a woman was pumping her car from the wrong side, so she had like the big black hose on her trunk.
What?
You pump your car
Right,
from.
but at Costco and Sam's Club,
Right.
they typically have the extra long hoses, so it doesn't matter what side your gas tank is on. You can easily get the hose around or over your car.
I've never measured the hoses at these places. I've just not seen any time recently where this woman waited in line for her spot.
Yeah.
As I'm pumping, I look over, she's one or two pumps over, and she has this big black gas hose just knocking on her car because she's pumping from the pass-through side, the passenger side, and she was like,
I see it all the time. I see usually I'm not a Sam's member anymore because they closed the store in South Tampa.
Right.
So I'm a Costco member, and when I fill up at Costco, for instance, it doesn't matter what side, what line you get in. I try to get in a line that corresponds with the side of the car that my gas tank is on. And a lot of people still don't know the trick with the little white arrow. Still, it's amazing the number of people that don't know that if you look. Roxanne, do you know about the arrow in the car?
Nothing about it.
You don't know.
I told Kim about this, and she was stunned.
You didn't know about the little white arrow on your fuel gauge in your car on your dashboard?
No.
If you look at your gas gauge and you've got the F for full, you got the E for empty. If you look right near the gas thing, you're going to see a picture of a little pump.
Okay.
Usually it's like a little pictogram, and there's going to be an arrow, and it points to the left or the right. That tells you what side your gas tank is on.
Oh,
As opposed to looking.
In your own car, you're going to know.
Yes,
but if
it's a rental car.
If it's a rental car, if you're driving someone else's car, I mean, I thought that everyone knew this, but it's amazing. People are learning this every day. The little white gas tank arrow that points. Folks, if you didn't know this, look at your gas tank right now. Look at your gas gauge.
That's dangerous.
And look for the little triangle, and it's pointing to the left or the right. What's dangerous?
To look at that while you're driving.
Not
You
really.
look at your dashboard all the time when you're driving.
Oh, I guess you're
I'm not saying linger for 7 minutes and take your eyes off the road while you're going through a school zone. Right. I'm saying just take a glance.
You told me that secret like forever ago before I knew it. I'm like, really?
Years ago. Hold on. Andrew wants to take calls. Yes, Andrew. What do you want me to do?
Yeah, Sarah from Clearwater.
About what?
Sour?
Gas pumps.
All right. Hey. But I want to talk about the gas prices here. Hold on. And then we got the American wedding is under attack. Hold on. Sarah, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Thanks for calling in. Hi.
Hi. So I wanted to comment about pulling in. So at BJ's, you can gas up, and the gas line extends to the other side. So people, I don't know if they're lazy or just don't want to do anything, but I'll pull in and then pull the gas nozzle to the other side and bypass a whole line.
Yeah, and a lot of times you'll find the line because people want to get in the side that corresponds to their gas tank. But BJ's also has the long hose, right? Well, it doesn't sound right. BJ's and long. That doesn't sound right.
I mean,
but BJ's has like Costco. They have the extra long hoses.
Yeah, and it's crazy that people just don't want to take the extra steps and pull to the other side.
Yeah. And here, you're getting through the line lickety-split. Oh, maybe I shouldn't say that either. All right, hey, listen, have a great day, all right?
You too.
All right, thanks for listening, Sarah.
All right,
Bye,
goodbye,
Sarah. All right, so Fester, you were saying that the Sam's gas price now is under $3.
It was like $2.91. It was well below $3.
Yeah.
It wasn't $2.99. It was like $2.91.
Let me tell you right now, where was I? Because I noticed somebody getting gas. I wasn't getting gas. What was I doing? Because the price was too high. Where the hell was I? I was just somewhere, and I saw where was this? It was, I know where it was. I stopped to get Dunkin' Donuts coffee for Michelle, and they have a Dunkin' Donuts inside the gas station. And I saw a bunch of people filling up. I'm like, oh my God, the gas is $3.59 a gallon here. It's way too much. You go to Walmart right up the street. It was like $3.20, and I'm sure the prices come down. But the gas prices around town are all over the place. And for instance, look at this: the Costco on Gulf to Bay is now $2.89. Sam's Club, Gulf to Bay, $2.89. That's over in Pinellas, over in Clearwater, right near 19 and Gulf to Bay.
Yeah, the cheapest in Hillsborough County is the Sam's Club on Del Marbury that I go to, and the other one on Big Bend.
$2.91. Look at that.
Wow.
Yeah, Costco on West Linebaugh, right near PDQ and Ford's Garage. That was $2.92 a gallon. So, folks, I mean, pretty damn good with the gas prices now. I mean, let's get back to $1.89. That'd be fantastic. I don't know if we're getting there anytime soon. But if you're still driving around town and you're paying $3.59, $3.69 a gallon, what are you doing? Because even Walmart, where you don't need to be a member, Walmart gas I passed by, I think it was like $3.20 a gallon at Walmart. And then obviously the discount clubs, you're helping to subsidize the lower prices with your yearly subscription fee, to BJ's or Sam's Club or Costco. But folks, take a look at the gas prices, because there are dramatic shifts in prices. Like, the triangle of rip-off stations?
Yeah.
Zoom in on that. And, we've got the triangle of rip-off gas stations. It's, the Chevron on the corner of West Shore and Kennedy. You have that BP right in front of West Shore Plaza. And then you have the Shell station right at Cypress and West Shore. That's the triangle of rip-off gas stations, where their prices are always just whacked out way too high. And you have to be a dummy to buy gas at those places.
Are they owned by the same person?
I have no idea. But I'm just giving you some consumer advocacy here. And I call in South Tampa, that's the triangle of rip-off gas stations, where they charge way too much for gas. And, one of them is the closest thing to the airport. That Shell station is like the closest thing to the rental car return. So that's why, they're able to, pull the Wambuki prices.
The Shell station near the Dollhouse on Cypress.
$3.79.
$3.79.
Right next to the Dollhouse. $3.79 a gallon.
You're paying a lot for gas and ass.
What about the? Jeez, that's terrible. All right. What about go south on West Shore, go to the corner.
That one's not on this.
Go to the corner right there.
On this aggregator, it's not.
It's not on there.
Yeah. So.
The Chevron right on the corner of Kennedy and West Shore is not there.
Yeah.
Maybe they've upped their game a little bit.
But their price is so high they don't even show up on the aggregator.
I got gas yesterday. I filled up my tank at the Shell on.
Maybe you left your notebook on top of a gas pump over there.
Yeah, I probably did.
Yeah.
Shell in West Chase area, and it was ridiculous. Because I remember I was going to take a picture of it and complain.
How much was it?
Like $90 or something.
Okay.
No, how much was it per gallon?
I don't know. I didn't look at that part.
Were you empty?
Close to it. Yeah.
Well, because you have an X5, so your tank is about 20 gallons.
Actually, it's 22.
Okay, so close enough.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're saying it was $90 to fill up?
Yes.
Holy cow.
Mm-hmm.
Well, just do the math.
Yeah.
So was it 88, 89? I'm just trying to get as close as possible.
Let's see. Let's call it 88.
Did you get the high test stuff?
So $4 a gallon.
88.
Does that sound right for premium?
88, yeah. 88 divided by 22 is
this Common Core math we're doing?
Yeah, it's $4 a gallon. That's for premium. That's way too high.
Yeah.
Just put the junky stuff in.
Yeah. All right, so moving along here, 9:01, folks. It's the MJ Morning Show. Little consumer tippage here. All right, let's talk about this wedding thing. And the American wedding is under attack, at least on Reddit. American weddings are expensive, a vanity party, and a terrible tradition. This is a whole write-up. This is a whole section on Reddit right now.
Mm-hmm.
and it talks about $50,000 average for a wedding. Why would any couples except the wealthy still host large ceremonies unless your family and guests are gifting cash generously? A wedding ceremony is a terrible financial decision and a stressful way to start a marriage. Is how well you two plan one event together any indication of a life partnership? I've personally never been that excited about watching friends or cousins get married. They could just show me pictures of an elopement, and I'd be equally happy for them. How did expensive ceremonies become the norm? I understand formally announcing marriages for families of influence, but most of us don't fall into that category. You know, Michelle and I have had this kind of argument and disagreement numerous times over the years because traditionally it is the bride's family pays for the wedding.
It is. Yeah. I mean, I don't think they do it for the second marriage, but the first one, yes.
Yeah, first one, the second one, you're on your own.
Right.
Hang on a second. Let me see if Julian's going back to school. He's got a flight out this morning.
Are you going to pay for Chloe's wedding?
Oh, it's your job. You better.
Well, that's the deal.
You better like the schmuck.
Probably some Scottish guy.
Hey, sweetie, we're live on the air.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Schnit. Can I call you Dad?
I
want to take your hand in
Guys,
marriage.
let me talk to Michelle.
Sorry. Listen, I'm going to marry your daughter. We got to serve haggis at my wedding.
It's the haggis buffet.
Schnit, I got your kilt here. You will.
All right, no, listen. I don't think Chloe's getting married off in Scotland. She's there for a year, all right?
Scotland is free.
If it's not Scottish, it's crap.
Absolute crap.
All right. So, Michelle, are you listening to the show?
Well, I was, but then I walked out of the room because I'm helping Julian, and then I came back in and I heard you say something about weddings. Somebody was mad that a wedding costs so much money to go to or something.
Yeah, well, American weddings are expensive, a vanity party, terrible tradition.
Yeah.
It's a whole Reddit subcategory right now where someone did a write-up and there's just thousands of comments on this thing. And I was saying traditionally it's the bride's family that pays for the wedding. And we've had this discussion numerous times that your mom essentially paid for our wedding.
Correct.
And we've discussed that if we had to do it all over again, that we would not have a big wedding.
Well, I didn't want the big wedding.
You
had to have the big wedding.
Well,
I wanted
what a show you
small
guys.
wedding in your backyard with just our immediate family and grandparents and that was it.
like some Pollard's fried chicken.
That would have been fine for me.
It's a little table with some Pollard's fried chicken from London Bridge, right up on Virginia Beach Boulevard. Just some fried chicken in a tin.
I didn't need all that fancy.
Some potato salad. Sitting out
MJ's the fancy one, apparently.
Well,
it
was. You know what it was? All right, so Michelle, it's true. Michelle did not want the big wedding. It's not that I really wanted it. It's sort of like my family, I think, pushed me into it, that you had to have a big wedding. But in retrospect, I agree with Michelle that if I had to do it all over again, I wouldn't get pushed and bullied into a big wedding, that we should have just done a small ceremony, just immediate family, and, boom.
Oh,
Do you remember even one thing from our wedding?
Do I remember what?
You don't remember anything.
Not much.
Right, exactly.
Did you do
But you would have remembered having a nice afternoon with your grandparents who are no longer with us and your parents who are getting older, and that would have been a more meaningful event for us.
Can I point something else out?
What?
We got married at the Radisson, Virginia Beach, which is right at the end of, it used to be 44, and then now it's 264.
Well, the La Quinta wasn't available.
No, it's right. It's right next to the Virginia Beach Pavilion, right at the end of the expressway before you get to the oceanfront. So we got married at the Radisson in 1994, and 10 years earlier, my senior prom was at the same Radisson. So my senior prom from Frank W. Cox High School, Virginia Beach, was in the same exact place that I got married in 10 years later.
Well, it's funny you never told me that.
I know. I just
interesting. You just remembered that.
I did. I just remembered that.
But you don't remember anything from our wedding.
I don't.
You remember that
I don't remember anything.
Did you guys dance the YMCA?
No.
I think they probably played Kool in the Gang Celebration. I'm sure that got played.
So yeah, but these weddings, they're ridiculously large. Well, relatives who don't care, friends from work who really don't care,
and you're spending it like $125 a plate or whatever it is. Do you remember? This was 1994, Michelle. How much did your mom fork over for the wedding? Do you remember?
It was probably about 40 grand.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. In retrospect, we probably should have gone small, just like
She
you.
worked a second job.
Oh, that's right. She worked a second job to pay for the wedding. Yeah.
Oh my God! How could you allow that to happen?
Yeah, Roxanne.
So when I got married, my dad gave me that option of, okay, here's what your wedding is going to cost. You could either take this money and you guys can go elope in Vegas.
Well, it's like, let's make a deal.
Yeah, exactly.
You can take the wedding in door number 1 or take the box on the floor.
Right.
Was Wade Brady there?
Was who?
Never mind.
Okay. The guy for
Wayne Brady's the new host of Let's
host.
Make a Deal. And the old host, Froggy, was whom?
Wink.
No.
Spinkerblatch?
No.
Who?
Come on.
I can't remember.
The old host of Let's Make a Deal. It's when I was a kid. Come on.
Hal Herman?
Monty Hall.
Oh, Monty Hall.
Monty
That's right.
Hall.
Okay. A great name.
He was a great game show host. All right, so what did you do, Roxanne? How much was your wedding going to cost?
Okay, so this was in 2001.
And this was the baseball guy that you met like a Bull Durham deal?
I didn't meet him at a Bull Durham deal.
He was a minor league baseball
he was a
player.
But yes, he was a minor league baseball player. And so we got married. Was it 2000 or 2001? Anyways, it doesn't matter.
Did you just say anyways and then try to correct yourself and say anyways again?
She said it wrong once and then realized it didn't matter anyway, so she said it wrong again.
Because Roxanne knows that I hate when people say anyways.
So she said it twice.
Anyway. What are you, Tommy, 2 times over? You're going to get the papers, get the papers, get the papers? Going to get the papers, get the papers, get the papers. All right, go ahead.
So we had a big wedding. We had like 250 people there, I think. And what I realized looking back now, even though the marriage didn't last, I'm happy I did it because it wasn't really a party. It was more like the parents invite their friends. It was a party for my mom and dad. And then we're so drunk we don't even know what's happening. So it was fun for us. And if we had that money to it would have been split in the divorce anyways. So anyways.
Michelle, anything else you want to say?
No, I'm headed to the airport.
That's when are you leaving?
As soon as I get off the phone.
Is he all packed up?
He is.
All right. Wasn't it nice having Julian home for Thanksgiving?
It was.
Well, our daughter was eating haggis in Scotland.
No, she was not.
Michelle, where are you going?
Huh?
Where are you going? Are you going somewhere?
Dropping him off to the airport.
I'm taking him to the airport.
Yeah, Julian's going back to boarding school.
Oh, I thought you were flying somewhere too.
No, she's dropping him off at the airport.
Bye, Julian.
All right. I'll talk to you a bit, Michelle.
Okay, bye.
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 I saw a short movie Julian made that was awesome.
Which one?
I don't know. The only one I've ever seen.
Yeah, he's working on a new one now.
But it was really good.
Let me go to phones.
He's so much more talented than you.
No, he's a talented kid.
Well, way more. I'm saying way more than his dad.
Sharon is in Lakewood Ranch. Sharon, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hey, Sharon.
Yes, hi. Good morning. Love your show. Been following you for so many years.
Thank you, Sharon.
Yeah, I had a huge wedding on Long Island at a big townhouse.
Was it at the Great Neck Country Club?
Yes. No, not Great Neck. I live near Great Neck, but nope, this is at the Huntington Townhouse.
Okay.
Had the whole Italian wedding with the whole carving station, the Italian cookie bar, and all the desserts, and had a 7-piece band.
Did they hand you envelopes filled with cash?
Yes. Yes.
Did you have guys with the Goodfellas collars on with the ties?
Yes, it was
Very good.
Any of your family in the karting business?
Possibly.
Oh, my God. I'm nailing the whole thing here. What do you know about the heist, the Lufthansa heist?
Any sanitation?
5 million, 6 million, 7 million. Nobody knows how much was taken in a daring heist at JFK, the Lufthansa terminal. All right, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
All right, Sharon. Tell us about the wedding.
All right, Sharon, go ahead.
But yeah, so anyway, yes, we spent a ton of money. It was good, but yes, didn't really remember half of it. It was for the family. And then I did get divorced.
Can I ask you, Sharon, how many friends and relatives were rubbed out at Umberto's Clam House in the city?
Oh, Umberto's. I love Umberto's pizza. 300, over 300 guests.
All right.
Yes.
Wow.
And then, my second wedding was in Mayaca at my sister's backyard. And it was a nice, quaint get-together with family.
So night and day, totally opposite ends of the spectrum.
opposite.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Good for you.
What I do have a daughter who's going to get married. I do have a son that's going to get married.
Can I ask you a question? How many Vinnies are in your family?
Vinnies?
Yeah, how many Vinnies you got?
How about Marie's?
Vinnies, but a lot of Anthony's.
Yeah. How many Maries?
3.
This is Marie.
That's Marie.
This is Marie.
Marie.
How are their complexions?
Marie.
Big moles.
I'm blue-eyed, blonde hair, and my brother is dark-haired, dark-eyed.
Hey, Shara, I'm just dropping all the Goodfellas references here. Hey,
I love it.
Shara, thank you for calling in. Thanks for listening. Great call.
All right. Have a great day.
All right.
Bye.
All right, so, listen, I'll take some calls here on the whole wedding thing. 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. Just like on Reddit, just the reignition of the debate. Are the big, expensive weddings really worth it? All right, 800-990-1047. And listen, if, the family says, hey, big wedding or take the cash? If I had to do it all over again, I'd take the cash, absolutely.
How about you cut your mother-in-law a check for the 40 large,
know,
huh?
I probably should.
You probably should.
Because she's on welfare these days,
Oh, that's great.
Wasn't she like picking up cans or something?
Jeez.
Recycling money?
Food stamps.
All right, she's buying cat food to eat at Dollar General.
No,
all right?
she buys water, bottles of water with food stamp, dumps out the water, and sells the bottles to get money for crack.
I know she doesn't stop. My mother-in-law's just fine. All right, 800-990-1047 if you want to comment on weddings. 800-990-1047. All right, a couple more here, then we got to take a break. Yes, Rox.
I think when you're an adult, and what I mean by that is on your second marriage and not in your 20s, I think you want to socialize in a different way and you want to have like more intimate moments with people. So you don't want a big wedding where you know you're only going to be able to go around and say, hi, thanks for coming. Hi, thanks for coming.
All right, that's fair enough.
You got to go to every table.
All right, Jake's in Winter Haven. Hey, Jake, MJ Morning Show, you're up next.
Going on. Yeah, so me and my wife, we actually spent a decent amount of money on our wedding, and we paid for most of it. And we actually got married at the Florida Aquarium a couple years ago.
That's nice.
And it was, it was awesome.
You guys have fish for dinner?
Actually, we did not. It was steak or something like that.
If you hold your wedding at the aquarium, do they serve fish?
I think they have a thing against that.
Or is it fish free?
I think it was like sustainable fish.
You get to pick your grouper out of the tank.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, the Goliath one.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of fun though, and we would definitely do it again. And like I was telling the screener, like we have a lot of out of town guests that are all from New York, so I know they're good gift givers. So we did. It wasn't you have to roll the dice. I know when they give you like a toaster or like a bag or something like that. They all give cash, so it worked out good.
So another a New York guest cash wedding?
Oh yeah, my family they don't bring gifts; they just bring checks. If it can't fit in your jacket pocket, don't bring it.
Thanks for the call, appreciate it, Jake. Let's grab Pat in Largo. Hey Pat, did you know that Irene Cara lived in Largo?
I did. I heard that this morning from you guys.
I know. We had no idea. Irene Cara, Flashdance, What a Feeling, and Fame. Has passed away. We just found out over the weekend at the age of 63 years old. And it turns out she lived in Largo, and we had no idea. Pat, go ahead. You're up.
Okay. I got married the first time, 1973, South Lake Tahoe, Nevada, at the Ring Wedding Chapel.
Okay.
It is now a liquor store.
Yeah. Classy place, Pat.
And open bar, Mad Dog 2020 for everyone. And how many times have you been married, Pat?
Well, I'm on my second one. The first one was 21 years, and matter of fact, this one just passed 21 years.
Oh, wow.
I'm married now to a Russian.
Awesome.
Like mail order?
Or spy.
Pat? Oh, did I offend him?
Pat,
did he hang up?
Mail order? What
Pat,
are you
oh, my
doing?
God. I think I offended him.
Does she sound like Anna?
No, when you think, when you, a lot of the Russians are the so-called mail order brides. I mean,
I think of spies. I don't think of.
No, it's mail order. Listen,
Pat, I'm sorry if I offended you.
Guys like Pat don't land Russians by the spy industry.
He's been married to For 21 years.
I mean, listen. A lot of the Russians, the Ukrainian women, some of them are very, smoking. You know,
My friend Frank has an uncle who bought a wife from Philippines.
Hey, Lee's in Tampa. Hey, Lee, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Good morning. How are you?
We are well, Lee. Go ahead.
Awesome. Anybody that wants to get married, invest in a big wedding because we had one 42 years ago on Valentine's Day. We spent over $32,000. Well, my parents spent over $32,000. 42 years.
Wow. So that'd be 1980, right?
Yes.
It's like $100,000 now.
Exactly.
Yeah, 32 grand in 1980 for a wedding. That was pretty pricey.
Yeah, they spent over $3,000 just on my gown, and we had 14 in our wedding party. We had over 400 guests. He had the orchestra. We actually had a reception at, I don't know if you guys remember the Ramada Inn on West Shore.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where our reception was, and that was a big thing back then. The Marriott wasn't even built then.
Nice.
Wow. All right. Thank you, Lee. I appreciate the call. Pam is in Newport Richie. We got to move on here in a second. Pam, did Roxanne her phone just go off and she runs out of the room?
Yeah, her computer let
Roxanne,
off a sound.
what
was a good tune.
What was that? What can you tell me what happened over there?
I don't know.
Okay.
What,
Just as a computer. My daughter she listens to songs on my computer, and I thought I had the volume all the way down,
All right.
and she must have frozen one, and it just popped up.
Okay. Hey, Pam, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Good morning. How are you all?
We are well. Go ahead.
We got married in 1989 down in Fort Lauderdale, and we spent a total of maybe $3,000 to $4,000 on the entire wedding.
Oh, that's pretty cheap.
And my husband and I paid for it. We had a buffet style. We had a carving station. We had two people help serve the buffet, and I think one bartender. And we had a DJ. And this was the theme of our wedding, if you want to call it a theme. It was a Peruvian, American, Italian, Jewish wedding at the Italian American Club.
I love Peruvian
Wow.
food.
Look at that. Yeah, sounds delicious, Pam. Thank you. Let me grab one more. Andrew, last call. Rose in Spring Hill, last one. Rose, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
We are well. Go ahead.
We spent about $8,000 on our wedding, but my friends and family thought we spent like 20 or more. But we ended up getting married at the Event Factory in Tampa, and so it's like a pre-decorated place. And we got married in the Enchanted Forest, and then our reception was in the Swan Room. But it was one of those package deals.
Hold on. Your reception was in the swamp room?
Oh, swan, like
Oh.
the bird.
That was like a swamp with all like gators and algae floating on the floor or something. I don't know, the swamp room.
Florida appropriate.
Yeah, the swan room. Gotcha. And Rose, how long ago was your wedding?
2011.
All right. So it's still there, right?
I think so. I'm not quite sure, but it is a great venue, and you don't have to worry about paying for flowers or a photographer or anything.
Well, are the flowers like plastic? What do they use?
Yeah, plastic flowers that last for everybody.
They're flowers, but it all looks real and
Wow.
it's nicely lit, and it's all in one package, so you don't have to worry about, I got to hire a florist, I got to hire this.
Yeah.
It's like they sell the package for you, and it's all there.
Rose,
so.
Thanks. Appreciate it. Thanks for calling in.
I heard they actually have mannequins in case nobody shows up to your wedding. They could just put them in the seats.
Quickly, Ted in Tampa, last call. Go ahead, quick.
Yeah, the wife and I got married 43 years ago. Her dad was the vice president controller of a corporation. He gave us $2,000. That's for wedding dress, the reception, the wedding, and everything else. And it worked out fine.
Wow. Would you hold the reception at like Ponderosa? Where'd you hold the reception?
Back in the church.
All right.
And the wife got a little upset with me, but she was going around, all the girls saying thank you for coming and everything else. She came over to me. I was at the big shrimp bowl at the buffet.
That's right. That's
There you
right.
go. $2,000.
I said, you're over there saying to the girls, all the guys are coming by the shrimp thing. I'm taking care of this half.
I was at the
There
big
you
bowl
go.
at Froggy's wedding, except it wasn't shrimp.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Ted. Listen, if you're just tuning in, it was like, what are we talking about? There was a whole Reddit discussion on how the big American wedding should be a thing of the past, that it's just a big,
ridiculous.
giant waste of money. All right, we didn't get the Velveeta deal. We got to get the Velveeta, And then Fester.
Oh, we didn't get to the cruise ship story.
We're getting to all that. We got another long chunk of the show next. All right, hold on. We got a lot to get to. Velveeta, the cruise ship. And do you know what the craziest part of the story is? The guy falling off the cruise ship and apparently being in the water for 15 hours before he was discovered. That's not even the best part of the story. All right, hang on. We got a lot of stuff to get to next. Don't move. We're back in minutes. MJ Morning Show on Q105. If you're looking to move... Q105, 9:30. I'm sorry, what were you saying, Roxanne? I had to put my headphones on. What were you?
You're just talking to him, and he's not even listening to you.
Well, the song's ending. I got to go on the air. I'm not going to dead air to listen to Roxanne. So what were you saying, Roxanne?
Yeah, we have some stuff going on at home. Well, actually, Doug
Are
has
you
stuff
trying to
going
sound
on.
like the guy from Office Space? You know, we have some stuff going on at home.
I need you to come in on Sunday.
Exactly. All right, so what exactly are you trying to tell me? You're leaving? You walking out now?
Well, possibly, but Daviana's going to do the last segment with us, and she'll do it as long as she's quiet. And if she's
All
not, then I'll
right.
leave.
Let's put it on a mic.
Is the kid here?
She's on her way in at some point.
That's
Yeah.
fine. We're going to be talking to
Few
her
minutes.
here.
What's going on at home?
Doug had a meeting to go to, and he can't keep her.
So important.
So he drove over here to drop her off?
Yeah, he has to go to Bel Air, so he's like, I'm just going to drop her with you.
The Fresh Prince?
Oh.
It's fine.
Yes.
Wow, Doug knows everybody.
Fester brought in his kid in a dog bed and leading her for 4 hours.
I'm bringing the kids back during Christmas break.
All right, you got the MJ Morning Show here on Q105, final segment of the show. A lot of stuff to cram in here. Man, there's a story that I saw earlier. I'm like, oh, no, that's terrible. Let's see if we can figure this out. See if I can squeeze this one in. Also, today's Cyber Monday.
That's a big deal, man. People have been planning their sales for weeks now.
but, you
Things
know,
are going to buy.
Do people even still have cyber sex?
I hate, no, it's not cyber sex, Cyber Monday.
And
It's the sales, it's the online sales thing. And I hate the name. I've always just disliked the name Cyber Monday.
When did it start? Like 10 years ago?
Longer than that.
Really?
When did it
I don't know
start?
about
Let me
that.
Google that.
Yeah, we should have done an old, jingle for like just another Cyber Monday. I think we did. Didn't we once have that? I think this is actually a little better though. A little Meth Lab Monday. Cyber Monday.
I thought I heard MJ talk about crystal methamphetamine.
Yeah, crystal meth on Cyber Monday.
It's just another meth lab Monday. The crooks are on the run day. The cops are gonna come day. It's gonna be a fun day. It's just another meth lab Monday.
Just another Cyber Monday.
Did you hear Froggy with the high pitch?
I was doing the falsetto.
I did.
That was
So,
awesome.
yeah, it was good. So 2005, November 28th, 2005. So this is what math is that?
That was the first
30.
Cyber Monday?
Yeah, 18 years.
Who the hell declared it Cyber Monday on the Monday after Thanksgiving in
nerd.
2005? Who came up with it?
So cyber in 2005 was a lot cooler of a word than it is now.
Yeah. Now it's like a dorky, stupid name. And I guess today, Amazon, Target, and Walmart are expecting to be some of the biggest players in online sales, and they expect like $11 billion. You know what I saw, though? That, Black Friday is just not what it used to be. I'm hearing that around the country, there just weren't lines.
Yeah,
There were no lines anywhere. You don't have people lined up for all these like doorbusters anymore. You don't have like workers at Walmart getting trampled by people trying to run after an $8 DVD player or something.
Yeah, thank God for that. But companies are advertising their Black Friday sales sometimes weeks in advance, or they're having rollouts, so the actual day is insignificant or less significant.
Oh, you know what I got? I just checked my text during the break. And Wade, the owner of Two College Brothers, Wade sent me a text that he used to date somebody who owned a cleaning company, and they used to clean Irene Cara's home.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And like they'd be operating the vacuum, and they would say, "Hey, Irene, hit it." So you'd hear like. Anyway,
I wonder what she would say every time she felt the cloth.
What?
What a feeling.
Get it?
Hi.
Hey, Doug.
Oh, Doug.
Hold on. So wait a minute. What were you saying about that? What's the joke with the cloth?
It wasn't a good joke.
It wasn't good. It was
All
pretty
right.
bad, actually.
Anyway, so Irene Cara has passed away at 63 years of age. Rest in peace. Again, we had no idea that she lived in Largo, and now we're getting all these calls, like people
knew her.
People that knew her. And here's, Wade.
Two College Brothers, one of our great sponsors.
Okay, my joke was when she felt the laundry afterwards, she felt it and said, "What a feeling!"
Oh, you said the cloth.
So,
I didn't get it.
Wade said, I used to date someone that owned a cleaning company, and they cleaned Cara's house. I sent her the number to call in. Did Irene's cleaning lady call in, Andrew? No.
Hey, listen.
No.
Oh, it's a clean. I thought it was a laundromat for some reason.
Hey, Wade, prospect who's cleaning out the house, huh? Maybe it's a moving gig.
Listen, don't try to capitalize here.
It's an ABC, man. Come on, Wade knows. He's a business guy.
All right, we have a lot to do here.
Unbelievable.
You ready for the building lawsuit story?
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember I mentioned this earlier.
Is this okay to talk
Hold
about?
on. Wade just texted me. Susie Q Cleaning.
Okay.
Hey, Andrew, can you get the phone number for Susie Q Cleaning? Maybe we can get him on the phone.
I want to talk to Susie.
I'd like to know what kind of customer Irene Cara was.
You mean?
What if she was the biggest diva?
Oh, she was. She was. I'm sure a very nice woman. She
You
wasn't
didn't
like
clean my stairs, you bitch.
She was Froggy. She wasn't like some kind of Mariah Carey
No,
diva.
I'm sure she was lovely.
No, you got to look up Susie Q Cleaners, and maybe
I've heard of them.
Maybe we'll try to call them up before the end of the show.
So that means in Largo, her Oscar is just sitting on her shelf, right?
Oh, look, Susie
my
Q
God.
Cleaners, 49. Listen, I'll dial them up right now. Hold
Oh
on.
my God, what are you doing?
727.
I wonder what made her decide to settle in Largo.
I don't know. Hey, Fester.
Yes.
Go ahead and pick up the phone when it rings.
Hello,
You got it?
Was she found in her body or in her?
No, it's a recording.
Oh, it's a recording.
Yeah, so go ahead and just push the buttons.
Was she found in her house?
We don't know. What if the cleaning people?
I know, that's what I'm saying.
I know. But listen, maybe we can get some nice words from the cleaning company. Do you have to push all kinds of buttons?
Yeah, I'm in a little hell.
You in Susie Q voice?
I pressed 1.
Oh, no.
See
New
what
customer?
happens. New
Always
customer.
press 0.
Just tell them it's the MJ Morning Show, and this building is slovenly. And by the way, we heard that you cleaned Irene Kara's house.
Okay.
All right, let me know. You're going to get a live person here?
It's up to...
Is it ringing?
Nope, it's a voicemail.
A voicemail? Jeez, come on. All right.
Yeah,
anyway,
it's a voicemail.
hang up. All right, let me get to the building lawsuit thing. Hey, I guess I'm sort of putting the building on notice. Now, we're in the office park that was formerly Koger, and now
We're
it's
not still Koger?
I don't know. Now it's like Bay Point or something. Yeah, it's not Koger anymore, but it used to be the old Koger Executive Center with all these buildings on this like campus kind of deal. And now it's, I think, called Bay Point. And I just want to let the management at Bay Point know that I think you guys are getting sued. So I'm in the lobby last Tuesday because our last live show was last Tuesday. I'm leaving the show a little after 10 o'clock, and there was a handicapped person trying to get upstairs.
Oh, no, the elevator.
Yikes.
The elevator has been broken for 4 months.
And didn't we have some information on that? Because an elevator maintenance person reached out to us. Their company's actually working on it. They're
Listen,
waiting for parts
I don't
or something.
know what the hell's going on, but I'm telling you, they opened up the washed out bridge to Sanibel in days, and this elevator in our lobby is taking 4 months to fix. Anyway, this person is in our lobby, and I guess they were trying to come upstairs here to pick something up, and they were handicapped. They were in a wheelchair, and
they were mad.
And they're like, "What's going on with the elevator?" I said, "It's been busted for 4 months," and then they started yelling. Well, how am I supposed to get up there? This is a violation of
They make Americans with Disability Act?
Yeah, the ADA. This is an ADA violation. How can it be 4 months? I said, yeah, listen.
Did you help?
I said, do you want me to try to? I offered to try to like pull him up the stairs.
That's more unsafe than anything.
I don't
over your shoulders.
Listen, I don't want like it'd be like OJ and the Naked Gun.
Then he falls and sues you.
Remember OJ went flying down the stadium stairs and got flung over onto the field.
Right by the Queen.
So I offered to help him out, and I said, "Hey, can I run upstairs? Can I get you something? Can I have someone come downstairs?" And they were like, "No, this is a." They were just yelling and screaming about this is a lawsuit. They were just yelling lawsuit.
God. Okay,
lawsuit.
Just rolls around looking for broken elevators.
I don't know, but they yelled lawsuit like 95 times, and I'm just letting building management know that the elevator has been busted for like 4 months, and I can't even imagine what the hell is going on.
I'll tell you right now, I'm Joe.
But now you got some person in a wheelchair really pissed off that they couldn't use the elevator, and they're screaming lawsuit 95 times.
I didn't know this was the case, but somebody told me we have like 3 or 4 employees here who work in the building who use that elevator every day because of previous disabilities.
They do.
And they traditionally don't work from home, but they are now because of this. I mean, it's a big deal. It's
a mess.
A ridiculous amount of time on this elevator.
I don't know how long it takes to fix a damn elevator, but just building management, I think you guys are getting sued.
It's a 1-story building. I mean, it's like
ridiculous.
1 to 2.
No, it's a 2-story building. And the elevator takes people from the lobby up to our second floor.
So it's the smallest of all elevators is what it is.
All right, quickly. Velveeta. Is this a real story? This is a joke. This is going to be thrown out. Amanda Ramirez is a plaintiff in a lawsuit claiming that Velveeta is misleading customers. So this woman is suing the parent company of Velveeta's microwavable shells and cheese cups, claiming it takes longer to prepare than the 3.5 minutes the box label says.
Lazy are you?
What the hell? Amanda Ramirez of Hialeah is listed as a plaintiff in a $5 million class action lawsuit that was filed against Kraft Heinz Foods on November 18th in U.S. District Court for the Southern District of Florida's Miami Division. The suit alleges that the statement of ready in 3.5 minutes is false and misleading because the product takes longer than the 3.5 minutes to prepare for consumption.
She's not wrong.
It goes on to quote the 4 steps to prepare the meal that are printed on the box label before alleging that the 3.5 minute ready time is just the length of time to complete one of the several steps. How long does it take to put the put water in there or something and put the freaking thing in the microwave.
Okay, so by the time you grab the box...
I've never had Velveeta shells in a cup.
No, I just do all the Kraft mac and cheese if I'm going to do
This
that.
is outrageous.
Okay, first of all, Velveeta
Michelle likes the old-fashioned one in the blue box with the radioactive orange powder.
The Velveeta
That's the one she likes.
Very creamy. It's really good.
This is preposterous.
But MJ, by the time you open it up and add
Get
the water...
Get Jackie Childs on the phone. Jackie Childs. That's what we need.
It cooks in 3.5 minutes.
Yeah.
In the microwave time, it's 3.5 minutes. It's not really ready because then you got to stir in the cheese.
Then you got to let it settle.
That takes a minute.
Give me a break.
Down.
This is a frivolous lawsuit. This is going to be thrown out.
And
There's
then
no way.
the last thing it says is cheese sauce will thicken upon standing. So that means what? Another 2 or 3 minutes. This is a 8-minute from beginning to end setup. It's a lie. Sue them.
All right. Before we get out of here, I got to lighten around a couple. How much time do we have here? We got to go quickly. All right. Have you seen the video of, I guess, the Coast Guard rescue? The guy, and Roxanne, you saw this. You sent me the story.
Yeah, I sent you the story. This is incredible.
We
I'm
all
always
saw
worried
this.
about people falling off a ship. Always. Like, I'm surprised it doesn't happen more often, or I think it does, and they just don't tell you.
28-year-old guy fell off a cruise ship that was headed to Cozumel. And footage was released of a guy that was floating alone in the Gulf of Mexico, allegedly for 15 hours after he fell overboard from a Mexico-bound Carnival cruise ship. And left, was it New Orleans or something? Guy was spotted by crews of a bulk carrier. They called the U.S. Coast Guard. They brought in an MH-60 Jayhawk helicopter. They rescue the guy. This is insane. The missing guy was identified as a Carnival passenger, and he was at the Carnival Valor Bar at 11 p.m. on Wednesday night with his sister when he took a bathroom break and never came back. Then the next morning, they couldn't find him, so they reported him missing. A way to go looking for him when he never came back to the bar.
I mean, hey, it's nighttime. He's drunk.
He's like, I got to go puke up this Guy Fieri burger somewhere.
My God.
Right over the railing.
So he was in the water, in the ocean for 15 hours.
15 hours.
How do you tread water for that long? I mean, that doesn't even make sense.
Strong legs.
He did. He treaded water, did something.
Wow.
All right, but this is what I don't understand. This is why I'm mentioning the story. Heck with the fact the guy was floating in the Gulf of Mexico for 15 hours. They rescue the guy with the Coast Guard helicopter. They fly him back. He's in the hospital. The whole family stays on the ship to go on vacation to Cozumel. They did not get off the ship and go tend to him in the hospital. They just continued on the ship, and they're going about their regular vacation.
Is that a whole topic we need to get into? People who are so determined to take a vacation since they've been locked down for a couple of years that they don't care.
Oh, my
Some
God.
kind of
Worst family ever.
Is that the worst?
What else are you going to do? Guys, I'm fine.
All right, what's worse? Treading water for 15 hours in the Gulf or the Bucks losing to the Browns yesterday? What's worse?
With disheveled Tom Brady afterwards wearing a stupid cone hat.
Oh, my God. 23-17, overtime loss to the Browns.
Didn't they lose their last 6 of their 7 games? The Browns.
The Browns are awful.
The Browns are not a very good team, and apparently the Bucks aren't either.
No, this was the Bucks' worst loss of the season because of...
Did you see the tire marks on the field?
So that's the thing.
You know the story?
I saw
Yeah.
midweek that somebody burned the field or did
no,
donuts.
Someone took a golf cart and somehow got in one of those club cars. Some unauthorized person got into a golf cart and was doing donuts on the Cleveland Browns field and tore up the field. You could see the tire tracks and the vandalism damage on the field during the Bucks game.
I would totally do that. If I had access to Raymond James Stadium, nobody around, I would do that, no problem.
You think that golf cart actually move if you're sitting on it?
Maybe get a high powered one.
We got to get out of here. You got to see what we have left over, man. Just a bit. That's what happens when you're off for like a whole weekend and then Thanksgiving and everything.
Hey, Daviana did good today. She sat on my lap for the last segment. Hasn't said a word.
Where is she now?
She's on her lap.
She's right here.
Sitting there on mommy.
All right, we're all backed up and jacked up, so we got a lot of stuff to do tomorrow. All right. Oh, should I mention this quickly? Did you see the elderly couple? They were out on a test drive, and they got hit in a brand new Nissan in a test drive, and the lady in the back died.
Oh, that was awful.
This is out in Polk County. A 76-year-old Davenport woman was killed when she was driving in an SUV out on a test drive.
But her husband's like, was he 90?
86 years old.
He was
And
old.
They were driving a Nissan Rogue, a brand new 2023 Nissan Rogue, and they were pulling back into the dealership after the test drive, and they get hit by a vehicle, and the woman in the back seat dies, and the guy driving was 86. Clifford Worm, it's W-O-R-M-E, 86. Listen, I don't want to be ageist over here, but should an 86-year-old guy really ought to be test driving a new Nissan Rogue at 86?
What is he going to do? I like it, but I have to drive it.
That's a crazy story.
Does it handle like my Buick?
I don't know if I guess everyone had seatbelts on. That's a crazy story. And the car's all mangled up into a ball of metal right in front of the car dealership. It's crazy.
Sorry. What could you do for me with the one with the dent? Does it come with the true coat?
Guys, stop. The lady died in the car.
Oh.
I'm just wondering if an 86-year-old guy needs to be, going out on a test drive with a new Nissan Rogue.
What about that slappy salesman sitting next to him in the passenger seat? So, sir, you'll notice here, it's nimble handling. Oh, look how easy it is to touch all the controls.
Professor, shut up.
Professor, that's too far.
Let's wrap things up here. I got a lot of stuff in the pile for tomorrow we just didn't even get to.
Who would have thought Nissan Rogue's target market is 86-year-old men?
I mean, that's crazy, isn't it?
I'm going rogue.
Hey, listen, this is very,